Good evening, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Elite Encounters and our complete playthrough of Paizo's Bloodlord's Adventure Path for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'd like to give a special welcome to the Elite. That's everyone that's out there right now watching our shows, that are liking, following, and subscribing to our content. We're currently simulcasting on YouTube, so if you are out there on YouTube right now, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button as you're watching this video live. We'll greatly appreciate that. And while you're doing that, check out our homepage on Twitch and check out the link for the Patreon with 4 really cool tiers with physical rewards, and at certain levels you get to interact with our world and name certain NPCs or people, places, things, whatever. We'll figure it out, and if we like what you give us, we'll say what your name is on the air. Pending certain approval, right? There's certain things we can't say on the air, so we have to make sure what you give us is going to work.
There'll be no more bungle spoons.
Yeah, well, yeah, we could. And if for some reason, we'll let you resubmit. Anyway, check that out. Patreon. Subscribe to Patreon if you can. It's going to be a really rambly night. Hopefully, let's not have too much of that. So this is the point in the show where I give out everyone's skull bones.
I love those.
Me too. So the skull bones are our representation of the hero point system for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So I'll pass that one to everybody to start out.
Did we use any skull bones last session?
We did not.
We did not.
So it was a banner session. Everyone accepted their poor rolls.
It sounded like you rolled well.
No, you did not. It was surprisingly
what is
very
this?
bad.
This is some kind of
Stockpiling them.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you have the opportunity to earn extra, but hoarding them at the start is not how you do that. All right, whatever.
Are you sure?
I don't need extra if I have everyone else's.
That's right. Okay, so everyone has their skull bones. So those are used as hero points, which allow you to re-roll, or forces me to re-roll if you don't like my roll, or it could save you from death should it occur, and it will. Okay. That's going to bring us to our favorite segment, So really just one thing I really wanted to go over again, and that's partly because Jenny and I were talking a little bit off air about identifying magic items. And
Detect magic sucks.
Yes, sorry Paizo, but detect magic is just kind of meh. And it's an ongoing discussion on various message boards, but all detect magic can do is burst out in 30 feet and say yes there's magic here, or no there's not. And it has limitations, right? If there is an illusion spell or effect in place that's higher than your ability of detecting magic, a higher rank of spell than you're able to detect, you have no idea it's even there. That illusion completely beats out your ability to even detect it. So there's a limitation. And it also causes the, what were we doing? The magical chairs or musical chairs of magic items with the cabinet last week. So we talked about that a little bit and decided that we're going to lemon law detect magic as one of the cantrips that you chose for Ophelia, and change that to read aura. And Read Aura is a little bit better, and it's kind of going to serve our purposes for what we were using Detect Magic for anyway. So with Read Aura, you can target one item within 30 feet of you and determine, is that magical, yes or no, number one. Number two, it takes a minute, and you do in fact know that that thing you're looking at is magical. You can always, of course, you're focusing on one thing, so you don't have to worry about everyone else around you or everything else in a 30-foot burst. And it also will grant a +2 bonus, circumstance bonus, status bonus is what it's called now. Yeah. And a +2 bonus to an identify magic check.
Yep.
Okay, so if Ophelia, you guys find something new in a room, Ophelia can just look at it and say, is that magical, and cast this cantrip, and for 1 minute of focusing on that item, she will determine if it is. And then whoever decides to identify magic off of that gets the +2. And in order to identify magic, you do have to, in fact, detect the presence of magic before you can make an identify check.
Right.
But, yeah.
It's interesting to kind of think about what maybe Paizo's intention was here with the new version of Detect Magic. Maybe part of it is you're not necessarily expected to find every single hidden door, every single magic item. You might miss some stuff. Maybe that's part of what everybody being good at perception now, and not just maybe just your rogue or just your ranger, Maybe that's part of what they were going for, right?
I think so,
Yeah.
and it does break the kind of the metagamey thing, because detecting magic is one of your exploration activities that you can do. You can constantly walk around detecting magic, just bzz, bzz, bzz. And to avoid having that pinpoint and beat traps without any real effort or
Yep.
chance of risk, or pinpoint and defeat invisible creatures or whatever, they limited the ability of what detect magic can do.
Yep.
To kind of, hey, you could do this all the time, but you're not going to get all the sweet information that you got in 1E to be able to trivialize several encounters.
Right.
Okay, so that being said,
Okay.
And just to save us for next week, by the way it's written, it does say circumstance bonus for the plus
Oh.
2. It's not status. It does say circumstance.
so I was not wrong.
You were correct.
Okay, well thanks. That's weird, because I thought there were only 3 kinds of bonuses.
Yeah.
Item bonuses,
Yeah.
status bonuses,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess there is circumstance bonus. Like a higher ground bonus is the circumstance of
Yeah.
you being higher ground.
Yep.
So the circumstance of her identifying something that is in fact magical grants that bonus to
Yep.
figure out what it is, I
Like-
guess.
It's a rock. No, it's a magical rock, so that means it could possibly be a ruin.
There you
Sure.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, it helps narrow down the scope of what this thing could be based on your understanding of those magical traditions.
Right. Yeah. You find a magical stick. It could be a wand. Maybe.
It could be.
Maybe.
And I really like how you presented that. That
Yeah.
really, I think, dials it in for me.
Absolutely.
That's why you get that +2. Very
So I
cool.
was just thinking about the potency rune that we got.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might look like a rock with some carving in it. We won't know until we actually look
Yeah.
at it and go, I mean,
It's a
yeah,
magic
that could
rock.
be a magic rock.
Yep. Yep.
So I have a question about that then.
yeah.
How does that work with, like, if we take something to a vendor, we can't identify it, so we take it to a vendor and ask them to identify it for us?
You usually pay a fee for them to go through the process of casting the spell.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think we did a little bit of that off air for some items beforehand that
Okay.
they found at the farm.
Okay.
That's kind of the benefits of being near, the central locus that this campaign is currently set on in Great Urge. Is we have access to all these services to do those things, which I think most APs are built that way. You're supposed to be able to come back and recoup and pay for spellcasting services and all those types of things.
If you have to.
Yeah.
But it really helps if your party can just do it and keep on trucking,
Sure.
which we can now do.
Yep.
Based on this.
And now we're going to keep on
adjustment.
trucking.
For real. So let's talk about what
I
happened
had to
last
find my
week.
niche.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm still looking for mine. Just to speak transparently, there's only 2 spells in the entire lineup of healing spells that heal undead. There's harm and there's soothe.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Literally,
It's,
that's it.
Well, as we level up, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't get access to one of them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Soothe is an occult
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. Well, maybe
Like-
you could talk your partner
Yeah.
into
Whole
Yeah,
thing.
Alara.
exploring
Yeah.
that.
It's harm all day and a little soothe.
Yeah.
Cool.
That sounds like my Monday. Okay. So let's soothe ourselves with some Pathfinder.
Let's
Absolutely.
go.
So what happened last week? So last week you guys went into the main office of the bank and stumbled upon the tableau of Teligmat's last meal. And Ophelia thought that last meal looked delicious and decided to join in with Mert trying to help. So Ophelia started digging in and started eating all that chitin and bone that was in that bowl. But Lysander's quick thinking and ability to recognize what was happening quelled the haunt and allowed them to recover a magical star knife and 2 very important letters that cued you into kind of the machinations of the factions here in Geb. Both one of those letters and that star knife had the initials VQ on them. After exploring some of the bank, we decided to head over to that iron slab, and once somebody stepped on that slab, it kind of ground into the floor and revealed a staircase downstairs, where they found a small room with a battered trap and a corpse with a red cloak bearing that 3-fingered hand symbol. I'm gonna get that right this time. Exploring out in the main corridor, you found 2 very large granite skulls with granite vultures sitting on top of them. Those granite vultures sort of came to life and decided to try and defend this hallway to no avail. They were pretty handily beaten. But then they had an opportunity to plea for a little tasty taste of everyone. And once they got that exchange of tasties, you got some information. and you found out that the people who came in here before smelled like yeast with a Y. And that, what else did you guys find out? You told
weren't
the
tasty.
vultures. Yeah, you were spicy. That's right. You have you have a
But
spicy.
they weren't tasty.
They were not tasty. They tasted like yeast. The previous people, I should say. But you notified these vultures that the manager was deceased, and they had no idea. They were just kind of abandoned here. And then they left you alone. They never kind of reappeared after that. After dealing with that, you opened up another vault, and inside this vault was a corpse surrounded by lots of scratch marks in the floor, splash of blood. And as you moved in to explore, something appeared and bit Lysander.
It sure as hell did.
And that's where we're going to
From
start.
midsection.
But I do want to kind of come in with another, I'm actually a little bit on this to explain the initiative that happened with this, okay? Because, okay, so this is going to tie into the whole levels of detection. When you first came in the room, there was a creature in here that was completely unnoticed by you for reasons.
Because it's invisible.
That's probably why. So when somebody is unnoticed, they get to make a stealth check against your perception DCs as soon as you are in that space.
Sure.
If they beat your perception DCs, they get to use that stealth roll as their initiative.
Sure. Right.
Okay? Then you would roll in on your initiative based on your perception.
Yep.
Now, I did that secretly because I didn't want to give up the ghost, right? And that kind of allowed for the whole, like, oh, shit. Now, if for some reason that creature did not beat somebody's perception DC,
Sure.
then we would probably call for the roll out front for everybody to roll, and then that would allow actions to start seeking out.
Sure.
But that's why this is coming out of nowhere.
Hey.
And we've already rolled for initiative. Now let's play the game.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
We're going to dip right into combat mode.
This is not a competitive game. I don't assume you're cheating.
Well, I appreciate that. So I'm trying very hard not to. I am certainly not intentionally cheating by any means.
That's why we do actually, so that the next week he can fess up in all the ways that he cheated to try to kill
The
us.
week before.
You can throw us some red
Yes.
herrings to keep us off his trail. I got you.
Okay, yeah, that's why. That's why.
Yes.
He says we'll discuss all these ancillary rules, and we'll not talk about the ones where we've cheated to win.
Where he's cheated to win.
No,
It's
no.
definitely not that we're all trying to get better at the system. That
That's
could
right.
possibly
Yeah.
be it.
Who wants to do that?
Oh my gosh. I would love to be better at this system. Okay, so we already started off with the creature biting
Yeah,
you.
me getting bitten.
When that creature bit you, you took a little bit of physical damage.
Sure did.
Now, I will also say that you are going to take some void damage because you are a living creature.
Oh.
1 point.
Great.
Okay?
You could bite
So that-
me, that might heal me.
Well,
Sorry.
Was that
Kidding.
in addition to what you gave me last
Yes.
time? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because of the nature of this
Sure, yeah.
this particular creature, which you see on the table there now. And the second action, when it bites you in the jaws, it tries to clamp down and get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Now, I can't remember if I
You did not.
actually did grab you. So here's the attempt.
Sure.
So this will be athletics against your fort DC.
Love it.
Okay. That's a 12.
That is a miss, good sir.
Okay,
A
so
miss.
you didn't manage to clamp down with the jaws. So
I'm wiry.
yeah, you managed to duck out of that. Switch dice now.
Back to those Angela dice, he says.
Yeah, back to these amazing fiery skull dice I got. Okay, so since you slipped out of its jaws, it's going to sweep one of its claws
Yep.
across you here.
Love it.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. So that'll be
Welcome to the
a
game.
critical.
Yeah, that's it.
We're getting the crit cards out. As on the first characters
Yeah, right?
Are you
Turn.
going to take that?
of the first round.
I mean, in the first 10 minutes, Willie Skullbone, well, I'm shuffling. I'll give him the opportunity. I don't think he's going to cash in.
That's
fine.
I mean, that's a big creature. We don't know what it's gonna
Sure.
do.
But it's one of them against all of us. We'll see.
Okay, so because these are claws, this is a slashing attack. So this is parrying strike. Gain +2 circumstance bonus to my armor class until the end of my next turn.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so let's
Thanks,
set
man.
that to there.
Is that against all of us or?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep. And that's until the end of my next turn. So that was my last action for this turn. Now, the damage. Okay. Oh, you're going to be fine.
As he picks up these 5d12.
So it's just 10 regular slashing damage and 2 points of spirit damage. Well, the spirit damage is being converted through the claws to technically void damage.
Sure.
Okay. Now, remind me, for you, you've nudged the scales, or does this void damage actually close your wounds when this happens?
So, the way it reads, right, there's void healing and void damage. They're not, so if I,
Oh, they're not interchangeable.
they're not
So
interchangeable.
if you take void damage, it doesn't heal you.
100%. Which is why I'm saying for undead, there are only 2 sources to heal undead. I can't just do void energy and heal undead.
You have to
Right?
do a healing trait
it's
spell. I
void
got you.
healing, vitality healing.
Yeah.
Yes, and because there is vitality damage. Mm-hmm. So there's vitality damage, vitality healing. Then there's void damage, void healing.
Okay. This is
Which
all
is
good
why
to know.
if you read harm, it says specifically inside harm that it will do damage or heal based on whatever the creature is.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
one of those specific rules override the general.
Gotcha.
Yep.
There's a sneak in third actually there.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for that. I
You're welcome.
appreciate that.
I
So-
looked at that during the course of the week and I was like, this is terrible news.
It is. Yeah, because there's a lot of surprise things and you're like, oh great, that just heals me.
Yep.
And you're like, nope, that
That absolutely does not.
Yeah. So
Well, darn.
So can
Wow.
we retcon last week when he tried to heal me and he hurt me?
No.
So I will say, because I am Cursebound 1, I take
you're weak to it.
additional void damage.
Okay.
Bad.
That's also bad news.
he's weak
But
to
are you
both.
still conscious?
I am.
Okay. That's great.
I look
because-
real bad, but I am conscious.
I look
I'm
real bad,
sure
but
you
I'm
do.
conscious.
But that's okay. That's the end of this creature's turn. It is now Lysander's turn.
Great. I love that for everyone, not me.
Also, bear in mind that in this 24 hours, you have used your thing, so I can force a reroll on you as well.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Just
Yeah, I'm not.
Just
I'm-
reminding myself
Oh.
mostly for.
It's all in good fun, brother. It's all in good fun.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to activate Remy's support function for one action.
Nice.
Which
Okay.
gives him a movement to get in place, which he does not need because he's within 10 feet of whatever the hell this thing is.
He absolutely is. Yep.
And then I am going to cast needle darts at this thing's face.
Ooh, okay.
And remind me again, what was the bonus it got for your crit? Your crit card.
I get a 2 to my AC.
Sure. 2 to your AC, you say. Would he be flanked then by all of us surrounding him in this room?
Technically by Zareth and Remington. He
Okay.
is flanked. And you as well. I don't know if you actually threaten, I suppose.
I feel like that's a cheap shot.
That doesn't seem very threatening.
He says, I don't feel like you're very threatening, pal. Great, love that.
Not exactly what I meant, but
In that case, I would like to change what I'm going to do if I'm not technically threatening to keep him off guard.
well,
I
he
would
is
like,
off guard.
Yes, but I want to rethinking my strategy here.
Sure.
I'm going to have Remy just attack him, and I'm going to take a 5-foot step that doesn't provoke any attacks of opportunity. I don't know if he has them.
Sure.
I'm backing away
Just a step.
behind Remy. Diagonally, yes, sir.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And then Remy's going to attack him.
Cool.
That's what's happening.
Okay. Did you still activate his ability?
So it does not function on if I activate it. It does not function on his attacks. Only if I attack the creature.
Got it.
Does that make sense? His support ability only functions if I attack the creature, and he is within 10 feet.
Oh, I see.
And so if I spend that action, it's not going to do anything. So I'm just going to have him attack twice.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Sure.
That is a 22 to hit.
That is a hit.
I love that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. 7 piercing damage.
Okay. Very nice.
That's weird. It's piercing damage from a fist.
Kind of like
That's strange.
What?
Maybe
It
it's
says
still
fist, and then my damage is 1d8 plus 3 piercing.
maybe it's
Maybe it's like, I don't know, him
It's so
jabbing
bony.
his hand. I don't know what. Maybe
It's
it's
so
bones.
bony.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
strange. Maybe, I don't know.
Weird.
I think
Or a claw.
that should probably be, if it's fist, it should be bludgeoning, I would imagine.
would
But
think.
anyway,
We'll roll with it. Either way,
Sure.
it's going to go through on this creature.
sure.
Knife hand?
that's
Yeah,
there you
right.
go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's totally going
Sorry.
like tiger style.
He's going to roll again with his mat.
Okay.
And that's going to miss. That's an 11.
11, sadly, is a
Yeah,
miss.
that's not good.
Is that your entire turn then?
So I command him for 1
Yeah.
to attack twice, and then I moved for 1, and I'm going to put Protect Companion on him for 1,
Awesome.
which
Okay.
raises his AC and gives me the life block reaction if I want to use it.
Cool. Okay. You're in a very dangerous place to be using life block.
I mean, it's more about his AC than me using life block.
I totally understand. That brings us to Zareth.
So since I'm right in front of it, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a swing.
Okay.
That is 22 to hit.
Ho-ho.
That hits.
5 points of damage.
Get there.
And then
Okay.
a second swing.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Oh, okay. And I'm sure when you add that all up, that will still be a critical success. So let's get you a card. Our second, I guess last time was a black card week. Now it's a red card week.
Yeah.
That's good. I like when it swings that way, right?
Yep.
I like this story
Yes.
versus the story you're trying to tell at the beginning.
Sometimes though, man, the dice just
Dude.
are a beat down on you.
100%.
Yeah.
Like the first couple episodes, I rolled nothing less than like a 12, and now it's like, oh, 3.
Yep.
What's that about?
Okay, so your machete is a slashing weapon?
It
I'm
is
guessing?
slashing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is something called Shield Cleave. Oh man, this is going to be just normal damage, and you're going to do damage to the target shield.
Okay.
It doesn't have one.
So okay. Okay, so I don't do any damage then.
You'll do your normal amount of damage.
Okay, so this machete has the deadly trait. So
Yep.
would that still apply? So when I do a crit, I add an extra D8 after I've doubled the damage.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Okay. So 12 points.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, 12 total.
Love that.
With your deadly.
Love it.
That's good.
And then for my third action, I'm just gonna raise my shield.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Call him everything but his mother.
Yep. Good play. All right, that'll bring us to Ophelia.
What is that?
Okay. So this is a recall knowledge action.
Yes.
It's a wise thing to do, considering I've never seen anything like this before.
Okay.
Jumped up and bit me.
Let me pull up your character because this will be a secret roll. Okay. Wow. All right. So you know that this creature is something called an asobak. An asobak is technically a psychopomp. Excuse me. I should have ate that cactus on the way in. So a psychopomp is a spirit that helps guide dead souls in the boneyard and usher them onward to Pharasma for their assessment and movement onto their final plane of existence. They're kind of like ushers of the dead. And a Sobok is kind of a very lowly, kind of guard dog psychopomp. And,
Okay.
as far as a useful piece of information based on your roll. What would you like? Would you like something defensive or offensive?
Weakness. Who can I tell to hit this a certain way?
Okay, so
Then we can
knowing
go
that
way
this doesn't
faster.
have any weaknesses is what you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is still useful to know.
Yes, very useful.
So it's a spirit.
No, it is. It's a psychopomp.
Okay. It's a psychopomp that has no weaknesses.
Great.
Right.
And you get to share that as part of the recall
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
right?
That stuff is
Yeah.
all shareable. And then as far as I think what you're digging for is it a living creature? And the answer is it's technically kind of both. It's a living creature that manifests and has a spiritual essence about it as well. It's a monitor.
No, well, if it's living, that means I could do ink shot.
Okay. You sure could.
Spell attack roll.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Oh, okay. Oh, and this is a spell natural 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your spell attack modifier? Just out of curiosity.
8, so 28 is my total.
Okay, yes, so that certainly does critically hit with the spell. An ink shot, remind me, this is like a blast of poison.
It's a jet of black, inky poison comes from my fingertips and hits the person or target in the eyes, in the face.
Okay.
I deal 2d6 poison damage.
It's like black ichor.
Whoa, okay. So because it's a critical, is it 2d6 or 2d8? Am I misreading?
It's 2d6 poison, but
All right,
it
I'm going to be seeing my eye doctor next week. Okay.
makes them. He's he's
Got to roll
also
with that stuff when he's
dazzled
giving you
for a
a bigger
round,
die.
just on a regular hit.
Okay.
So
So this is a spell. So here's your critical effect. This is called Strange Goo. Which I guess
That's fitting.
fits
Fitting.
perfectly well.
Nice.
So it is going to do normal damage, and
Darn.
the target, normal damage, and the target is restrained.
Oh.
Using your class
Nice.
DC as the DC to escape. So basically, the ink, like as it shoots out of your hand, like just turns into this sticky mass of ectoplasm,
Okay.
and entangles this creature, restrains the creature. Restrains
Love
is worse
it.
than entangle.
Very cool.
So, on a
very
critical
bad.
hit,
Yeah,
it
really
says
bad.
that the target is dazzled for 1 minute. Does that
Wow.
count?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to take 8 poison damage.
Okay.
He is restrained and dazzled.
Screw your +2
Nice.
circumstance bonus, Tacy. Stack the debuff.
And that's me.
Amazing.
Oh, and it remains an hour before it fades.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's this is horrible.
Good timing, too.
Yeah. Good.
But it may be
going.
able to break free, right? I mean, it can take,
Yes, but
take some actions
it's
to try
going
to
to
do
eat up
so.
its actions to try and do
Yeah.
that, and of course it's
Yeah.
going to certainly try. But man, what a great turn! So
Absolutely.
recall knowledge and a 2-action spell, right?
Yeah.
That brings us to Alara.
All right. I think I already know the answer to trying to do a cone of attack, and this in our 10 by 10 closet, whatever we're in.
You can always do it.
Yes,
No
yes,
one's
I
stopping
can.
you.
I'm out in the hallway, so.
You're like, sounds good to me.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I'm gonna
You'll have to get Remy and.
And you know what? Technically, because of the way you shape this cone, it's a 15-foot, and you can shape it either orthogonally on like a surface of your square, or from a corner of your square out as a diagonal.
Okay.
Right. So if you do this diagonal, you could set it up to where it'll start like this and
Right.
capture 1 square of it, and then the next will capture 2 squares of it, and then the 15-foot wide part of your cone would blast against the wall and harm nobody.
Oh, okay.
So this would work in this
So
situation.
I can do that. Okay.
Yeah, you just happen to be just in the right position to get this
Then let's-
off.
Like I said, do it.
Yes. Let's do that.
Danger close.
I'm impressed because I thought there was no way. Okay. Well, then she is going to.
Yeah, cones can be pretty versatile depending on how you angle them and
Yeah.
shape them. They still have to fit in that template, but you can certainly put it in ways that, yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Well, then that's then she's going to cast Haunting Him.
Okay. All right, so explain to me what happens with Haunting Him.
Oh, I think for this one, it's almost like the music is rising up out of the floor.
Ooh.
Like it kind of like, it feels like it's coming from below.
Interesting.
And then, and yeah, it's that melody of like someone is singing, but there's nobody singing.
Love it.
Spooky.
Okay, so I will get to make a fortitude save.
Correct.
Being restrained, it doesn't affect this. That's a 22.
Ooh, rude.
Okay, so I will take half the damage.
Okay. So 3.
Okay. Yeah, and just to describe this creature, this it kind of has like a head, a face that looks like a crocodilian skull, etched with like various runes and symbols. Black kind of leonic mane, like a lion's mane, and like a hippo body. So
Whoa.
what you see is what you get right there. And that was 2 actions.
Correct.
Alara. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to see if I can demoralize it.
Okay.
So intimidation. See if we can frighten it.
Okay. This is against my will DC.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Problem. No, that's it. Oh, no, tonight. 16.
Just laughs at whatever you're doing. It does not appear intimidated by whatever you. What did you say to try and intimidate?
Bad dog, get down.
Don't you have souls to go collect? Sorry.
I will rub your nose in the carpet.
Which brings to an interesting question, like what is it doing here? It was very bizarre, right? Mert.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of dead souls around.
He says, strange question. Mert, your turn.
So I'm not in reach of it, right? Like, I'm kind of behind.
You are you're on its corner,
Are
so
there?
you are.
Oh,
you
so
are
I am in
threatening
range.
it. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I think Ophelia calling out that this thing is a psychopomp. Mert, raging, is going to start swinging on it with an intimidating strike. And when I do this intimidating strike, I'll be speaking in a language maybe nobody else at the table can speak. I'll be speaking in Requiem, which is the language of psychopomps.
You speak Requiem?
I do.
Okay, and you're going to say this is how you're going to intimidate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm very curious to see how this works.
Okay.
I want to know what you're saying.
I don't
So
speak that
that's
language.
a 22.
22 is definitely going to hit.
Okay.
He is off guard, being all restrained and all.
Okay. Ooh. Some real damage here. 16 points of damage.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
And it'll now be
Like that.
frightened 1.
Love it.
And then we'll swing again. That's 2 actions to do the intimidate thing.
Okay.
So I'll give it another swing.
And is this when you're speaking Requiem, when you swing that intimidating?
The first one, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, if you succeed on the strike, then it applies the debuff.
Okay. So what did you say?
Yeah, I don't speak. Jacob doesn't speak Requiem, so I don't know. No,
Okay.
no, Mert would say something like, hold still now that you've, shot this ink all over it and it's held to the floor.
Okay.
Basically, like,
All right.
you're not going anywhere.
Get what's coming to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think she is about to get what's coming to her. Okay.
Ooh. Nat 20.
No!
Congratulations.
Wow.
Okay, well,
That's still a
Hey,
23.
you got one. Don't worry.
glad I kept the red cards handy. Yeah. So that adds up to what? I'm sorry?
A 23.
Yeah, definitely a critical. And it usually always will be if it is appropriately tiered creature,
Sure.
right? Okay, so this is a slashing weapon.
Yep.
All right, so this is going to be the critical damage, and it's called Wide Open. The target will be off guard till the end of its next turn, which it
Already is because it's flanked.
entangled.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Cool.
That's cool.
Okay.
I don't know that it's going to make it to its
I
next
don't
turn,
think it's going to do it either.
which is good for me.
30 points of damage.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
wow. Oh man. Okay. 30 points of damage.
Yep.
And you may dispatch your foe.
Okay. Yeah, just it fighting against that thick black magical goo that Ophelia, basically pinned it to the floor with, and then just hacking at it where it's trying to break free. And maybe that skull gets just shattered as it falls to the floor.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow. So it splits right down that crocodilian skull. And it collapses to the floor and gives out a last kind of like, and then just kind of sinks further.
Yep.
And stills. And that's it. We're out of combat here.
Okay.
Huh. Well, that was weird.
It's a record. Almost. Okay.
That came out of nowhere.
That was one round.
Yes.
Whew.
Wow.
A lot of 20s though. That'll
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, and debuffed into the gutter.
No kidding. Yeah.
That certainly set it up for failure as well. So awesome job. And you find yourself in this chamber with this now dead Isobuk and this dead three-fingered hand
Did it look
cultist,
like it
gang
had-
member, whatever.
Did it look like it got chomped?
Oh yes, it certainly did look like it got chomped.
Okay.
But when you look at it, I'm gonna just do a little roll for you.
Sure.
All right. So you saw Lysander get chomped by the same creature. He's still bearing the wounds. He's still very much hurt by the wounds, but it wasn't enough to do him in. And you look at this guy and you think this chomp probably wasn't enough to do this guy in either, but you can't see any other wounds really.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's concerning.
Interesting.
The fever is setting in.
Oh no.
What do you guys do now that you're in this basically empty vault with the corpse of this creature and the corpse of this person?
Sure.
Well, seeing that Lysander got hurt pretty bad, I think I'm gonna, pull out my med kit and try to heal him.
Okay, best of luck.
23.
23, okay. That definitely is a success. So that'll be 2d8 healing with a treat wounds. So, and if you want to spend the full hour just continuing to bandage him, you can double that value you rolled.
Well, that was an 8. So, do you guys want to? I mean, there's not really much
Yeah.
to do here. Do you guys also need to take some time to refocus and heal and stuff?
Let's go ahead and do that.
I'll spend
Can
some
I-
time to look around the room.
While he's healing me, can I refocus?
Yes.
I love that answer.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you get
so let's
16
just
points
take-
back.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can always refocus even while you're even if you're the person doing the healing, you can still refocus during that time.
So you'll see while I am refocusing after taking that damage that I am literally where the thing bit me, I'm digging my finger into where that wound is and pulling out that infected looking wound, and it looks like it's done way more damage than it probably should have to me. So he's kind of digging around that wound and just kind of sloughing that stuff onto the floor, and then it kind of will seal itself back together.
You're not right.
Picture that.
That's freaky. Yeah, Mert is definitely very appalled by that. But he has been getting more used to the strange ways you function. Seeing this weird gas come out from behind your mask. Lysander's a weird dude.
Yeah.
He is.
That's one word for it.
Xerath is not used to it because he hasn't seen much of this and just
It'll be fine. It just burns a little bit on the intake.
What are you? So we've got a refocus, we've got treat wounds, and I think Ophelia over here, you said you were doing what again? Are you refocusing?
Oh, I was gonna see if he could possibly heal me without doing more damage.
Okay. Well, he's going to be working for an hour on Lysander, so we'll loop around to that. And then I think Mert said he was doing some checking out the bodies or body.
Yeah, I'd like to
and
check
Lark.
out the bodies and the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll spend some time doing some perceptions, etc.
While he's working on Lysander, I'll help them.
Sure.
Like open boxes or so.
Okay.
Yeah, we need help
Yeah,
opening boxes.
Touch
Thanks.
that, please.
Thanks for calling that out. Whatever, man.
She's like, they're like, I'd like to search that, please. She's like, okay.
Actually, Alara can, because you have the phantasmal hand, right?
Yeah.
What it's called.
Yeah, and it's a cantrip, so yeah.
I love
can
it.
use that.
Yeah, so you can do that. I'm like the lone ghost out, I guess.
Yeah, I probably could. Yeah, that would be small. Or
Yeah, like
small
less
light
than 5
objects.
pounds would be
Yeah.
like a small strongbox lid. Sure.
Yeah. So as you're going through, and you will use your telekinetic hand to kind of open up these safety deposit boxes, any of them that are actually closed, and you're finding nothing. Almost all of these are empty and have already been wiped out.
Okay.
As far as the bodies, both of you, notice that there are these massive kind of puncture wounds from obviously the teeth of this creature that was in here, and that this person has a flask that's kind of on this pouch on their hip, and that flask has an insignia on it, like a maker's mark, that is a coffin with the lid kind of askew. He's also wearing hand wraps. Doesn't have any other weapons. He's wearing just hand wraps.
Does he have? Does he have like bare? Like a place where he would have had a weapon that's maybe empty, like a scabbard on him or
He
a
does
belt?
not.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. No, it looks like whoever this person was, their main mode of defending themselves is
That's hands.
with their hands.
Knife hand again.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
And when it works. What do you guys do with that information?
I guess in his case it didn't work, but yeah.
No, it did. Definitely didn't stop this thing from doing what it did.
Interesting. Yeah. But this body, I think we looked last time, had that. It has a 3-fingered cloak on, right?
It does.
Okay.
Yep, just like all the other corpses you found in here so far.
I think we can definitely pass that on to Ophelia and potentially ask, like, hey, these hand wraps, are they just normal cloth, or is there something special about them? It seems odd for somebody to just fight with their fists against a hippo-sized creature.
Yep, do you do your thing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's take that read aura for a test drive. So you focus on those hand wraps, and they are, in fact, magical.
Oh,
Okay.
they are magical. I will divulge the corpse of his wrappings.
I'll take that.
It takes you 1 hour to slowly unwrap the hand wraps.
Oh no.
Okay. I have an hour.
Okay.
Somebody's
in
somebody's
fact
being
have an hour.
concentrated on.
Okay, but you remove these hand wraps, and you know they're magical, and now you have the ability to spend 10 minutes identifying magic on them if you'd like. So let's take a look. This is also a secret roll. So, it's any school. So what is your best?
Occultism and Arcana are both at 8.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna roll with that. Okay. So with that roll, you know that these are in fact hand wraps of mighty blows.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, they are an invested item.
You want to hit somebody really, really hard?
Remy does.
Zareth? Oh. Well. He does
They're-
punch, doesn't he?
He does punch.
These specific ones are +1.
They're just they're just the +1.
Got it.
+1
Cool.
potency. Yeah, they don't have the striking built in.
It's important for Mert's ledger
Yes.
he's keeping here.
Yeah, there is a significant price difference.
Oh yeah.
These are major striking, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Game over, boys. Game over.
Got it.
it would, yeah. Don't put you on easy mode for sure.
Well, I was gonna offer them to him first, and then
Sure, that's fine.
Offer them to who? I'm sorry.
Zareth.
Oh,
Is it for unarmed strikes or any strike?
Unarmed.
Unarmed.
Mm.
Could they be useful for Remington?
That's true.
He does punch as
Yeah.
a
that's his primary mode of
primary mode
Yeah.
of attacking.
as we have seen.
As long as that matches his style.
His style is fabulous.
Yeah, have you seen him? He's
Yeah.
got his yellow jumpsuit thing on.
Yeah.
Looks badass. I do say so myself.
Yeah, whoever painted that, man, is just...
I mean, the color scheme was brilliant, and I have to credit the creator of the miniature for the color scheme, because what a great use of color theory to make that guy just pop right off the table.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
that's a different podcast. What else are we doing?
I actually fell asleep before I saw the whole thing painted.
Oh, well, I'm glad it was that entertaining. No, actually, I finished it off air, so you're fine. No offense taken.
But now you've outed yourself.
Yeah, I was unconscious.
It's okay.
So I will. I'll take those and I'll strap them on Remington.
Okay,
Sounds good to me.
great. Yeah, and those are invested, but I'm
Yep.
pretty sure he doesn't have any other invested items.
He sure does not.
Okay,
Sure does not.
that's great.
Well, while all that's happening, can I work on Ophelia's wounds?
Yeah, so we can go into that kind of second hour of just kind of sitting in here and exploring this room. Alara, was there anything else you were doing besides going through each of all those? It'll probably take you some time to get all those deposit boxes in
No,
here.
no. She's just looking around. Don't need to refocus. Don't need. You know.
Okay, all right. Do you need healing at all?
Yeah. I mean, I'm slightly injured,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I have no way to heal myself.
Yeah, if you share that, I think Mert can try
Okay.
to patch you up for a few minutes here.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah, she cast that spell.
That gets
a
it.
little
So that's a
bit.
success, and I'll get some 2d8 here.
Right.
It was a 14 on the die. You're going to get 13 back.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
It's a 17 to heal Ophelia.
That also is a success. That's 2d8 for her.
I don't need
12.
much.
Keep
You
going.
get 12 back.
Thank you. That puts me at
Outstanding.
full.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
So people are starting to look and feel better. It sounds like. And we're at
Yeah.
the. I mean, do we press forward? What's the decision here? You guys have.
I think so. We've
How do you
spent plenty of
found-
time looking around in here. As you know, some of us have been patching up. Some of us have been checking all the boxes and everything. I think we found what is of value. It's not, we haven't found our box yet, right? The one that we're trying to find our forked tongue key fits to.
Correct.
Correct.
That's
Well,
right.
yeah, it's going a lot better than it was last week. It wasn't looking too good.
So you're feeling confident enough to press forward. It sounds
Well,
like.
some of us are minus
Four-
spell slots, but yeah.
I was gonna say that my spell slots are all gone. I mean,
Nah, who needs them?
I have one more.
I also have one more, but we can press on if you'd like.
Let's do it.
Let's see what happens.
yeah.
Famous last words.
That's right. Here we go.
How,
We have-
what else could there possibly be?
We have more of a hallway.
What else could possibly be here in this
not that many
bank
notes on
of death traps?
No, I mean, you know.
Okay, so you go back into that hallway, and those. When you go back out in the hallway, the black granite vultures are back sitting atop of those skulls.
Oh,
I never. Oh wait, I guess I did. I was
Oh.
gonna say I never
don't-
exited the hallway, but I guess I did.
They don't seem to be responding or reacting to you. They're just sitting there staring blankly down the hallway.
okay.
Cool.
I'll kind of look at Zareth and be like,
Poor things.
lead on. To, maybe we can try the doors down the hall. I'll go with you, and if the vultures attack again, I think we'll take them.
I'll have Remy walk with the two of them as well.
Yeah.
And I'll stay close by.
Right, and if we trigger them again, you guys can rush in on reserve, but we can at least test it out.
Okay,
I'm gonna follow them so I can.
kind of like so.
Cool.
Feels it.
Looks great.
So I can look for traps.
Oh, speaking of two, we were spending maybe some time in that room. I would take some time to fish out that figurine that I tried to use in the vulture fight and give it to Alara. And just say, I tried to use this earlier and I couldn't figure it out in
good
the
job.
heat of battle. So perhaps maybe you'd have better luck with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a onyx dog figurine.
That's right. Yeah, you did pay to have that identified. So yeah, you know that there is a command word to basically bring forth this dog.
Right. And I just couldn't do it while I was raging in the middle of combat.
Sick 'em.
Okay, so moving down this hallway, and everyone, there is a light source. I'm guessing that Lysander's candle is still burning from Mert,
Yep.
or has been refreshed as needed.
Keep the light on for me.
Yeah,
We'll leave the light on for you.
it was in there. And you can see down this hallway, you basically have 2 doors on your right and 2 doors on your left.
The one on the right?
Sure.
The one on the right. So you move up to it. I think Ophelia said she wanted to check that out for Trap.
Yep.
Shield raised.
I'm
Duly
looking
noted.
first. Don't worry.
And your perception bonus is a 6, I think, yeah?
Yes.
Yep. All right. So I'm starting to really get to know your
Dialing it
characters.
in. I like it.
Oh.
Okay. Not like that.
I know exactly what I need to kill.
I'm sorry, I thought that was an ooh, like an ooh, a gross ooh.
No. That was a. You're gonna have all of our characters
I'm gonna
memorized.
need a. I'm gonna
Just
need
in
an
time to
earpiece
level up.
check.
And then we get all new things to surprise him with.
Okay, I think we'll go like this. Shield raised. You check out that door. All right, let's refer
I
to
sure do.
the old map here.
It's the right door.
Well, there's 2 on the right and 2 on the left, and I have to turn to the map to figure out.
Hey, Mert, if we run across any gems, I'm looking for some for a collection of mine.
Okay. Are you looking for like magical gems?
No,
or
no.
Just mundane.
Mundane.
Okay. I'll certainly keep an eye out. I think we just found coins in those big
Yep.
marble skulls, but yeah, if we find some, I'll definitely make a note here in the ledger that these should go to you.
Appreciate that.
As you guys approach this door, and you start kind of checking it out, you notice kind of around the jamb of this door. Bear in mind, this is those heavy iron doors that have to slide into the slotted
Pocket door.
yes. There are like claw marks and tiny bits of rotted flesh clinging to the door jamb.
Oh, good.
On this side.
Yes. Yes. And because you were sitting there kind of listening at the door and checking this for traps, you can just hear beyond this thick iron door the sound of like moaning and shuffled footsteps.
There might be a zombie or 2 back here.
That
Or
sounds like
something?
you're thinking about what might be back there. Sounds like a recall knowledge. It seems like maybe a zombie would make sense.
Something of the shuffling, rotting variety.
Surely not
Nailed.
not as dressed as well as Remy, but well,
No zombie will ever be dressed as well as Remington.
No.
so are we going in? Or you want to check the other doors? What do you want to do here?
I'm fine to go in.
I can just tell you that I'm not the one opening the door.
Oh yeah, well, fact check.
Yeah, let's do it. Zareth, Remington, why don't you throw that thing open? I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, so
throw it
let's
open, but
reposition
you
the
go.
miniatures tactically so we don't have poor Ophelia. So who's right in the door there?
Yep.
I like that.
Remington
Perfect.
and
Yeah, I'll be right
Zareth.
behind him, ready. Yep.
So Remington's going to be the one opening the door. Did I read that right?
Yeah, and that way he could shove his shield right in the gap of the door as Remy is starting to pull the doors. That makes sense?
Yeah,
Let's
I like it.
then let's move it like this,
Sure.
just for tactical purposes.
Sure, yeah.
Because sometimes this game is a tactical game.
Sure is.
That's why we have maps.
So yeah, you slide that door open, and just as soon as it opens, just a few inches, numerous hands burst through and start scrabbling at the door and slide it open, ripping it out of Remington's hands, revealing the room behind filled with zombies, filled to the brim with zombies. Let's roll for initiative.
Oh god.
Okay,
Phil?
so
Oh no.
Why would I need spells?
okay.
I'm concerned by how exactly you mean filled. This is not going to be good.
No.
It's not. Because I
Oh my
literally
goodness.
mean filled.
Wow.
Oh no.
Okay.
And 40-foot ceilings, so they're just stacked up. I'm just kidding.
Give him ideas.
Someone's been reading the book.
I'm gonna have to do some volume calculations on the packing efficiency of zombies after this.
You know, at the farm they stacked them up like cordwood.
You know,
I really hope that's not the way it is here.
You can stop like any time, dude.
Oh my goodness.
I will not stop. I refuse.
Excuse me?
Can't stop, won't stop.
This is horrendous.
That's enough, right?
So actually, it's gonna go like this.
Oh. We need some.
And I'm gonna explain some things here
Oh,
too.
wow. Okay.
Yes, I appreciate the explaining.
Explain how dead we are? Awesome.
Because, like I said, this room is completely filled to the
Sure.
To the walls, wall-to-wall zombies.
Whose idea was it to open this door?
I suppose I'll take some
Wait, it was
responsibility
yours.
there. Yeah, I kind of led the charge. I was the one that said, "Hey, Zareth, Remington, let's pop this thing. I'm ready."
I said there were zombies back there. I didn't say how many.
All right.
I did not know, just so we're clear.
Let me just pull up this thing that is about to happen, and let's get some initiatives. Lysandra.
18.
Okay. Zareth.
19.
All right. Ophelia.
22.
Oh, that's pretty good. Ilara.
7.
7. That's the opposite of pretty good. Mert.
20.
20. Okay, this will take me just a sec to get in order here. My gosh. Okay, because as this door lurches open and these things come boiling out, this is... Anyone familiar with swarms at all?
A swarm of zombies? I'm familiar with swarms of rats.
Okay. You are familiar with swarms of rats because you fought
Yep.
one of those in your newly acquired
two.
manor. And swarms of that nature are usually made up of tiny or diminutive or fine creatures, hundreds of them. This is something called a troop, which is a swarm of much bigger creatures. These are all medium-sized zombies that are effectively acting as a swarm.
Ah.
So what that means is they have to move as one unit, and they can occupy your space, like a swarm can occupy your space. It is that. Imagine like your favorite television show that has to do with a zombie apocalypse, and a horde has just busted into your farmhouse or your whatever your stronghold is, and they are literally all around you, and all you can do is hack away and pray that you make it out of this horde, in this case, troop of zombies,
Yeah.
alive.
So, do they count? They count as one creature.
Yes.
So, a spell that's targeting one creature targets.
No, because
No?
they're technically like a swarm. They have to move like one unit, like a swarm
Okay.
does, but they are made up of multiple creatures. So a spell that targets an individual creature does not work. Does that make sense?
Just check.
Yeah. So think of this as like a swarm, but a swarm of zombies called a troop.
Okay.
And troop rules are a lot of fun. So as this
I'm not
develops,
sure about that.
And I'm like, ooh.
so
on the
they,
second.
so basically anybody that is adjacent to them or surrounded by them will automatically take the damage that the swarm deals, depending on the number of creatures still functioning within that troop. Ready?
No, not even a little.
How fast do we all run?
Not fast enough.
Okay.
Oh.
So they are zombies, and currently, because they have to move as a unit, when they collapse down to move, they basically take up a very large space because there's so many of them, and because they have to move as a unit, it's very difficult for them to get out of a 5-foot wide door.
Oh, good.
Hence why they were probably stored here, right? However, it is their turn. Now, they can partially get out of the door, because as they move, what happens is each thing moves out, and but they have to like move together. They have to always stay together, basically.
Yeah.
So this is like a daisy chain of zombies just goes bursting through the group here. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do.
Ugh.
These guys are now kind of in this space, and these guys are in the door.
Oh.
So they're all contiguous as one unit. And those that are currently going to be affected by the adjacency or the surroundedness of the troop, Zareth, Mert, Lysander, and Remington. Okay. That was one action to move out there.
Good.
So then, Patrick, the sweep weapon property wouldn't make a difference here, would it?
Right, because that's
If it's
an
one
individual,
entity.
like, yeah.
Different target, yeah.
Because what does sweep do? That gives you an additional, like, bonus to
Plus
attack?
one. Yeah, if you pick a
if I
different.
try to hit an enemy, if I try to hit a second enemy in a turn, then it gives me a +1 circumstance bonus to that second
Yep.
and third attack.
I think thematically, maybe I will grant it. And if I'm wrong, we'll find out next week on
Sure.
the next one. Because troops are just they're just a whole different ball game. And I've done some research preparation for this, and that question did not come up. All right, so everybody that I just named, Zareth, Mert, Lysander, and Remington can make a reflex save.
Okay.
17.
23 for Mert.
22.
Okay.
Don't forget
Oh,
Remington.
Remy.
Remington, yep.
I was like, I feel like I'm missing one.
Yeah.
19 for him.
Okay, so everybody saved except for Zareth. Zareth, you will take 19 points of bludgeoning damage as this swarm just runs past you. And as they're running past, they're clawing and biting at you. Everybody else takes half of that.
So 9?
Yes.
I look really bad.
And that is the troop's turn. Ophelia.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay, one of the ones that's surrounding Sarah.
I think we should run.
Yeah, we can kind of fight as we run.
Yeah.
Zombies are notoriously slow.
Okay, I am gonna blast one and then move.
Okay, so you basically be blasting the whole, because it is like
Yeah.
a swarm, so you just
Okay.
blast away at it. What is
Okay,
this you're
well,
blasting?
telekinetic projectile.
Okay, yep. We could certainly blast that against a swarm.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay, they're gonna take 9 damage,
Okay,
and it is bludgeoning.
got it.
And then I'm moving back.
Okay, so how many actions was it to do that?
It's one movement action. The
So
spell
TP was
is
what, 2? And your move is 25 or 30?
25.
Okay, so you can get to there. I'm going to guess you're going for the stairs? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now remember, in combat, it takes 3 actions if you're not trained in athletics to close a door behind you. Okay, that's Ophelia. That brings
Hey,
us
I already
to...
moved back. I
You
can't
did.
close the door.
You did. I just put it out there for everyone, not pointing out who's got to be the doorman. But maybe think about that as you're running, because it's Mert's turn.
Okay. I'll take a swing. 15.
15 does not
Okay.
hit. You just kind of, maybe your sword doesn't have enough clearance to get a good swing.
Sure.
You're surrounded by zombies.
Yeah, once you're kind of within my normal reach with that weapon, it's hard to maneuver it for sure.
Yeah.
I'll swing again.
Okay.
And that's a 1. I will need a fumble card. Off to a great start.
Please
You're
don't be catastrophic failure.
You're stunned for 4 rounds.
Yeah. Until the sun comes up.
I don't think that would be a vicious card. Okay, so this is a melee attack.
Yep.
This is bad. You take D10 persistent bleed.
Persistent
Yes.
T10.
Persistent D10 bleed. Maybe the swinging of this massive sword being surrounded, you nick your own femoral artery, or what would have been your femoral artery.
Okay.
And now we're in trouble.
Lovely. That's awesome. I'm hosed. Okay. Third, I'm gonna also move as far as I can, and that first 5 feet of movement, I'm inside the swarm or troop, right? So it's gonna take me a little extra to get out of there. But I do it at 25 feet, so,
so
whatever that is,
difficult
considering
terrain.
that. Yep.
Yeah, so technically moving out of difficult terrain. So
Right.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25 there.
Great. Look at me there, and then flat check for the bleed, right?
Yes, it is the
Okay.
end of your turn. And technically, the bleed should happen first.
Oh, as soon as it triggers the. Oh yeah, bleed first.
Bleed first, and then
Yep.
then the flat check.
Okay. So. Yep.
Oh man, 10 points of bleed.
Are you kidding? Okay.
No.
Come on, man.
Try to.
And that D10. Does that gets re-rolled or it stays as 10?
It will be re-rolled every time.
Okay.
It's a D10.
That's good to know, because. Okay.
Flat check 15.
Come on. This is a really important roll.
Yeah.
10 on the die. So. No.
Okay, there's a skull bone there, but maybe you're saving that for death.
I might need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's brings us to Zareth.
Well, seeing. Oh, real quick note about Sweet. It does say when you attack with this weapon, you gain a +1 circumstance bonus to your attack roll if you already attempted to attack a different target this turn using this weapon. And I feel like since
The troop is technically one big target.
since the spells that affect multiple targets wouldn't work, I feel like this shouldn't work either.
Okay, thank you.
Well, so seeing all these zombies and how bad they hurt me and everyone running away, I'm gonna take a swing. Nat 20.
Oh, okay. That certainly will hit. They are not immune to critical hits.
It's that kind of day.
Quadruple damage and does damage to all adjacent
Yeah, it
enemies.
kills all swarms.
Yeah, explodes. All right, this is a machete, so
Slashing.
slashing. Severed spine. Okay. So this will be it'll be the double damage as usual, and then the target must succeed at a fortitude save or be paralyzed until healed.
Whoa.
However, zombies are immune to paralyzed.
All right. Well,
So we'll just go right into the double damage.
So the double damage plus my 1d8
Yep.
for deadly for
sure.
is 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Okay.
And then I'm going to take my last 2 actions to book it.
Yeah, come on. Get
So that'll be
out of
50
there.
feet.
Okay, so you're right in front of the door now to this egress to the stairs.
Sure.
Lysander.
Well, I don't like any of this.
This is bad.
I don't either. I'm kind of feeling a little sick.
While we were sitting in the other room that had the dog, hippo, crocodile.
Also known as Sobak. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's so fine.
Did I happen to notice that if Mert was wounded while we were in that room, or did he get himself patched up while we were in there?
I think he did treat wounds on himself while we were doing that kind of almost like a 2-hour waiting time. there.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
Zareth was healing Ophelia. Mert healed himself during that time.
Actually, I healed Alara, but I didn't take any damage in that encounter.
Oh, yeah,
And
so
I don't
you
think
were-
I did either for the
Okay.
vulture encounter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think you were full going into this, yeah. So aside from what he just took and his persistently spurting Mert.
yeah, you probably notice, like, looking in my direction, there's just, like, glowing puddles of ectoplasm, like, leading
Sure.
back down the hallway.
I'm going to take my 2 actions and do a 2-action harm on Mert to to try to heal him back up to max HP to assist with his bleed.
Sure.
Got
Not, I mean, this is all bad. Everything here is bad.
It's all bad.
Like,
But getting me to max would help a ton if it could be pulled off.
yes.
Not dying would help.
But then I'm looking around the hallway, and there are people that are damn near dead.
Yep.
No, I ran before that. It's just him and him.
All right, here we go. Where's my D8? There it is. All right, Mert,
Roll hot for me.
here we go.
Max.
Max damage or max healing, so
Okay.
you get 16 back.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
So that does, in fact, get me to max. So you'll have to remind me when I get to max, is it max and something else that will stop the persistent damage?
I think healing to max. I'd have to
Yeah.
look it up.
I can grab it while we're doing
Yeah,
other
so why don't
things.
we look that up? Because it won't
Healing to
strike
max.
until the end of your turn
Exactly.
anyway.
Yep.
But being healed to max is definitely a huge component of stopping that bleed.
Yeah.
And I think that, that
I think
also.
that's what we
yeah.
covered, is that you have to be healed to max to stop the bleed.
Yeah, and I think that just happened, right?
Yes.
Okay, that was 2 actions.
Yeah, sure was. I'm going to run toward the door, 25 feet.
Okay, that'll put you just there ahead of Mert. And then you have Remington, just stays there.
I have no actions to command him to do anything.
Understand. Ilara.
He's called a sacrifice.
Yeah, Alora's going to pull out we're still close enough. Courageous Anthem. Sing a little song about, hey, we're not completely fucked yet, run faster. And then run.
Okay. Is it 1 action to sing that?
Yes.
Okay, so you have made it inside this little room here, just outside the stairwell. Well, that broken trap is in that
Yeah.
one body. Okay. And that brings us to round 2. And the troop. Okay. Okay, I think these guys are just going to mill out to contiguously occupy these spaces.
So it does say that if I do not command Remy, he will defend himself, or if he is in obvious harm, he will attempt to escape.
He is in obvious harm,
So he will attempt to escape.
so on your turn he would have
Yes,
moved.
he
the
would have
2,
moved.
and his
moved
speed
to
is
15.
15, so he'll go 30. All right, so he wouldn't have been there then.
I felt really bad just trying to leave him in that hallway.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you looked that up, because I'm pretty sure, like, if you had an animal companion,
Yeah.
it wouldn't just sit there and be like, well, I guess I'm dead.
Yeah, I wasn't told to move.
I
Tell
suppose you
me.
told me to sit.
I'm a good dog. Master said stay.
Your master is an idiot.
Okay, so they moved out.
Careful what you say.
That was basically 1 action for them to move out like that. So they'll not have to continue to move.
No.
Oh boy.
To be fair, there's not as many surrounding.
So they're kind of as just a horde
Yeah.
forming up in the hall and just chasing after you.
Yeah, love that for us.
Mert would be surrounded, but it does take an action for this to
Okay.
swipe and allowing you that reflex save, according to what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's called Shambling Onslaught, and it does take one action. Or they could take two and make it even worse. So it's a good thing you guys are moving out. Because, okay, that brings us then to Ophelia.
Going into the room.
Okay.
Wait, actually, because they're still here, I'm going to do the telekinetic projectile. Kind of try to save off some of the...
Okay, yeah, go ahead and take a shot.
And then I'll move. Because one movement will get me into the door. That is a 25.
Oh, 25 is a hit.
That's only 3 points of damage.
Okay.
It's bludgeoning.
Better than nothing.
For sure.
It is.
It's better than nothing. And then I'm moving my rear into the room with Alara.
Right. And we're certainly like trying to, fend them off as we're running. So I'm sure that's a little more difficult than just standing toe to toe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That brings us then to Mert.
Lobbing things
Okay.
down the hall.
So I did pull it up, and I'll just read the short text block. Basically, under assisted recovery, you can automatically end the condition due to the type of help, such as healing, that restores you to your maximum HP.
There we go.
Persistently.
As covered in actually 2 or 3 episodes
That's right.
ago.
So that is massive and probably saved my life for sure.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to reward a skull bone for that.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Heat of battle,
On that note,
giving yourself
run.
up to
Yeah.
take the time to make sure your companion made it out as well. Yeah, that. You'll get your turn.
I'll take your skull bone.
And then, having the horde catch up with me, I probably will swing once to try to just fend off whatever's immediately between me and the door.
Go for it.
14. Lovely.
14 is not going to be a
Okay.
hit.
So then, remaining 2 actions to move into the anteroom there. Presuming some of that is difficult terrain, so.
Okay. Yeah. You can make it to that the second door,
Great. It's me.
which these have been left open since you
Right.
came down here. So. All right, and no need for discard because you're not bleeding anymore.
Thank goodness.
Yay!
Yeah, if you keep rolling 10s on the D10 bleed
Well, let's
damage.
just see what would have happened just for shits and gigs.
Yeah, S and G's.
6.
Ooh,
Yeah, it would have been.
that's still bad.
I might have made it a round or 2, especially if the zombies caught up to me for sure.
Got that old ephemeral spurt on Mert. Okay. That brings us to Zareth.
So I'm gonna spend 1 action to move in, like adjacent to the door, like the spot adjacent to it.
Oh,
No, no, 1 over.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna spend my last 2 actions to ready an action to, like, when the rest of the party has moved into this room, close the door.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's great. Perfect use of that ready.
absolutely.
Okay. This is getting intense. Lysander.
I would like to command Remy to move twice.
Okay.
'Cause I think he's going to be the slowest of us to move.
Yeah.
So he's got a 15-foot movement.
Yeah. Okay.
So just in the room, anywhere.
He'll have to stop there.
Great, love it.
But he's in.
Yeah.
And Zareth, you think everyone's in?
I've been keeping a head count, so
Okay.
no.
Okay.
I'm
You're the
counting
new
heads
guy.
in the
Maybe
room.
you don't know.
Who's left outside? Mert and myself, or just
You.
me?
Just you.
Just you.
But there is
So-
no room for me to get in there.
There is. You can always move through your allies.
Yeah.
I'll take 3 actions and I'll move to make sure I have enough movement to get through.
2 actions will get you there. A third can get you into the stairwell.
I'll just take 2 actions of them, and just for S and G's, I'll put Protect Companion on Remy.
Sure.
Okay.
And I think, okay, 5.
Okay. So you are trained in athletics.
Oh, yeah, sure.
No.
It takes 3 actions to close this door.
Okay.
So you start, oh, come on, trying to close the door.
Even with a readied action?
Yeah, ready to action gives you 1 action
Okay.
as a triggered reaction. So now you're like, come on. And it's Alara's turn.
We're gonna need you to put your ass into it, buddy.
Oh wow.
You can do it.
Yes, the ghost can totally do it.
I love that I'm trained in athletics, but it would take me 10 minutes.
Yeah, hold on,
be able
guys,
to
I
touch
got
the
it.
door.
I got it.
Just give me a second.
Just give me a second.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of rude that they don't do ghost things. Like, there should be a little rope for the ghost to be able to open doors.
Like a ghost
Ghost
touch
touch
rope
rope.
attached to the door.
If they had ghosts working here, maybe they would have. But
Yeah, no, I
don't think so because these people are
don't
mean.
think I have nothing to help this situation in any
okay. Well, you
possible.
can.
I'll
You could delay.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
delay.
just kind of wait to see what happens and then come in.
Guidance
You
I
could
could-
cast a guidance and then
on somebody who's
ready
going
an action
to be
to.
able to close the door.
I don't even. I would say, is anybody trained in that?
Remy.
We've seen
Remy
Remy
is.
opening the doors a lot.
That's true.
Remy is. Remy's the only one. I'm
And
pretty
he's
sure.
in. He's in, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's standing in the doorway.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, I'll do guidance on Remy.
So as long as he doesn't die in this.
Okay. And that'll bring us to round 3.
You look a little nervous there.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a horde of zombies chasing you down out of the bank, and you can't get the door closed.
I'm just assuming that I'm hoping we've moved far enough that it's going to take him 2 rounds of movement right here, or else we're toast. Because
We shall see.
if Remy's the only one trained in athletics,
Ladies and gentlemen, he has 6 hit points.
And we have no spells.
and we have no spells for sure.
Oh, guys.
So
So who we playing next?
Yeah.
We got backups.
we can go to Strength of Thousands. We could play Kingmaker.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Season of Ghosts.
Season of Ghosts. Yeah, you can
I'm
all come back
biased,
as
but-
ghosts of yourselves. I don't know how that would work for the already ghostly
No,
people.
I'm the chosen one, and I will survive. Let's go.
Okay, let's see. So it took them 1 move for them to form up and shamble down that way.
Yep.
So they kind of squish together in this kind of mass that takes up 20 by 20 cube, and they just kind of
Shamble
they're
over each
crawling
other.
over
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. They're crawling scratching along the walls, grabbing over each other's heads, and it's just an onslaught of
Yeah.
a horde of zombies.
Yep. I hate that.
1 move to get there. For the second move, they will actually pretty much filter into this area. So we'll have, let's kind of switch these out. So these
I tried, you
4
guys. I did.
These 4 make it. So with their second action, they formed up. You stay back there. And now there's 4 in the room with you sharing your space, but it took them 2 actions to do this, so they don't get to claw at you. Ophelia.
I'm going to do another telekinetic projectile.
Okay. On the ones that are in the room with you?
Yes.
I'm going to hazard a guess.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
16.
It just smashes up against the wall. It's just there's so many of them you can't even tell friend from foe at this point.
My last action, I'm going to go up the stairs.
Okay. Well, you get into the room with the stairwell. Mert.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna delay. I'll just kind of move up against the wall of the door casing, go 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 go.
Okay. Zareth.
I'm gonna take a swing. That is 23 to hit.
Hits.
That is 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
And then I'm
And
going.
hold that thought, because
Okay.
something very interesting is about to happen.
Something good.
Something good. Because with troops, troops have a certain number of hit points, just like any other creature. When they reach a certain threshold of those hit points, part of that troop is destroyed. Meaning you've hacked away at enough of them on the leading edge of this troop that you have broken them down enough to where 25% of them are done for. That was one action.
Okay. What? I'll just take my other two. Okay, I'll take one more swing.
Okay.
That's a 9 to hit.
9 does not hit.
Okay, and then I take my last action to move into the stairwell.
Lysander, Mert's still in delay. So is Alara, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
You said Remy's trained in athletics?
He is. I'm going to command him twice to give him essentially 3 actions, because normally he can only ever have 2 at a time. Like when I command him once, he gets 2 actions.
Okay. Can you command him more than once on a turn?
So that I don't know. To be fair, I don't
with most
think
companions,
that's
I
the
don't think you
case.
can. Yeah.
So
If he's trained in
If
athletics,
I-
it takes him 1 action to close the door. If you're not trained, it takes 3. If you are trained in athletics, it takes you 1 action to close the door.
I'm not sure that's what you said earlier, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I could have
If
swore
I,
it was
if I
like.
misspoke on the rules,
No, I thought it was, you were saying in order to shut the door behind you, it took 3 actions and you just kind of left it at that. And I was like, oh
for him,
shit.
it
No,
takes 3
for
actions.
me,
Oh, okay.
'Cause he's
I thought
not
I thought you were talking like generally it's going to take 3 actions to shut the door. I'm like, I'm ready to run down the hallway so you can shut the door.
No, last episode we all the general features of all the heavy iron doors. Anybody untrained in athletics takes 3 actions.
Oh, sure, okay.
And we were kind of glossing over because we weren't really
okay.
fighting. Right?
You're right.
But now
you're right.
we're in an encounter.
Yep,
mode.
I got you.
Yeah.
So he will. I'll command him to shut the door.
Okay. And it clangs shut.
Do I have to roll the athletics, or is it just
As long as you are trained,
okay?
it
Great.
closes.
Door shuts.
And you just hear just massive amounts of hands banging against that iron door.
I think it's time for us to take a rest and put a pin in it.
Well, this is some bullshit.
Certainly.
I just will command Remy to get back away from that door.
Yeah.
Is there anything in this room that look
Well,
like
you
we
commanded
could-
him to shut it, so that
Oh, you're right. But
With a command, you get 2 actions.
I
right?
get 2 actions with command. Is there anything in this room that I can pick up to wedge against that door?
no, it's really an empty, featureless
Okay.
room.
Then I will.
There is the dead body with the broken trap.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'll cast Protect Companion just in case some funny shit happens, and I'll move back up the stairwell.
Okay. Alar. And Mert's still delaying.
Sure. I'll step in here.
Wow. Crazy.
Well, I know Remington is slower than I am. So I'll step up next to the door, and then basically ready in action. If the door becomes burst open, I'll swing on the zombies if they just start to pour through to kind of provide Remington a means of escape.
Okay. So that's Mert. So kind of move to the thing and ready in action.
Yep.
Alara, do you want to come out of delay?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's. I'm just going to.
So we'll move Mert down in the initiative to there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for the stairs.
Just running for it?
Yep.
Makes sense. All right, so in 3 actions, you are now up the stairwell.
Oh wow.
You're not in this hallway. You're up.
Right.
Up the,
You're now alone on the other side.
and they all turned. Whoa.
I knew there's another zombie horde up there.
Oh man, could you imagine getting stuck between two?
Oh.
Stay tuned after the break.
Yeah. Good thing I have all these zombie models.
They're all hiding under that conference table.
Yeah.
Yep.
All those
Okay.
glowing skulls.
So Lara makes it up. The door is clang shut. That's the end of the round. It's the start of the new round. You just hear, after that iron door latches shut, when it clangs in and sets into that runner, and just hands pounding on it. And that moaning sound, very similar to what you heard when you tried to check it for traps, echoes outside that door. And we'll see what happens with you guys after you regroup and take a little break.
Oh boy.
That's bullshit.
But we did, like,
Yeah, that
this room has basically the destroyed what's little's left of some of those zombies. So, like, we have a chance to
Yeah.
potentially take them down, but
That was
may need
Definitely
to,
gonna need to regroup.
yeah, regroup and get some resources. Or maybe think about specific resources that might be most effectual.
Yeah, like a fireball.
Yeah.
I would need an 8 hours sleep for that. I can do burning hands,
Oh, well, that would certainly help.
but I don't have that spell slot, so.
Well, they're not going anywhere, so.
Yeah.
That
take,
we know
take
of.
a nap in the stairwell.
An 8 hour.
Yeah,
Well,
you.
I have a spell slot, but it's designated for that spell.
Sure.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, with your familiar, you're able to kind of switch out what you know every day when you recommune with your familiar, right? Kind of like a wizard spellbook. You're not locked into those spells like every day. Like the next day, instead of taking ink shot, you could take burning hands, right?
Yep.
Because that thing is like a living
Sure.
spellbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I mean, I have ink shot and burning hands.
What he's saying though is you could like
I could pick whatever I want.
correct. You could swap your stuff, like hot swap it after your rest.
Yeah, because you only get so many slots, and so you prepare like a spell, and then you have. Yeah.
So, but I have to take a full rest to do that.
Yes, you have to have 8 hours of rest before you can recommune with your familiar and change out your spells, just like a wizard would with a spellbook.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay, great. So
have
while
a
everyone's
general-
taking a break, I'm going to pull up chat and just kind of see who's out there and see if we have any questions or.
I have a general spell list that I kind of just stick to
Sure.
in case I. Then again, I don't have much.
Well,
'Cause, you know,
at these
second
levels,
level.
yeah. But with that, because your familiar has so many spells it knows, and you have so many slots you can prepare, you can pick and choose from what it knows.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, very interesting class, the witch, and
Yeah.
I'm as a wizard player, like ever since I was a kid, like I'm really kind of curious to try one out and just kind of feel how that feels.
So in like a few levels, the witch gets turned on. Like she becomes the master at sustaining spells and like battlefield control, and it's so cool. I'm so excited to see, if we live from whatever this shenanigans is, to see where we go.
That was close.
That was not nice, for the record.
Yep.
Yeah, I have never played a witch, and I'm not quite sure how it's gonna work, but
I think you'll be great.
we're gonna make it work.
Yeah, you're not a witch, but you play one on TV.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least someone's TV.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it may not be
But
on their
I-
television, but it is on their viewing device.
That's right.
right?
That's right.
At least the number of people that are viewing us right now. So thank you out there for those of you that are watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to follow the channel. That way you get notifications of when we go live. We're live every Monday for Bloodlords at 6:30. We also have our Soul Sever campaign every Tuesday at 6. And we have other content as well on various other side channels, like I Paint Minis on Wednesday. On our YouTube channel, we're gonna keep dropping the critical knowledge?
Yes, had some things happen this week that kind of prevented it from coming last week. I don't know how much we want to share, but my mother is not doing well. She's in the hospital, so it's been kind of a rough go here. But we're gonna keep it coming. I got to get back in the groove after getting everything stabled back down. But yeah, it's still coming. For sure. I think they're excellent, and I loved making them. So we'll get back at it.
Yeah. First things first. Let's take care of family.
Yeah,
make sure everyone is healthy, and
For sure.
And, our thoughts are with you for sure. So yeah, all that content is dropping all the time. So if you are out there watching, which I see a number of people out here, just give us a follow or a subscribe on YouTube if you're watching the simulcast.
Yeah.
We certainly appreciate that. Yeah. Some people says they are definitely on the TV with YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that high definition.
Yeah, like so. If you're new, kind of coming around, if you want to watch the stream while we stream and be, I guess, closer to the action as far as when it happens actually live, Twitch is better for that. You get a lower latency, so you're kind of closer to when the things actually happen. So if you type something in chat, it's more likely to be responded with quicker. And if you watch it on YouTube, you are afforded with the higher picture quality, as YouTube allows you to view things in 4K, where Twitch does not. So if your viewing quality is what you are most searching for, YouTube is your answer for that. So, just FYI.
I did share the YouTube bang and the Discord bang, which of course
Great.
we're on there
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
the time.
Yep.
Yeah, you can definitely connect with cast and crew there, and if you don't have questions live, you can always ask them. And if we catch you in the Discord, we'll do our best to answer them. Okay.
Yeah. If you want a little bit more information on the show,
Yep.
on the characters, like what was this interaction about?
Sure.
We'll get a little bit more in depth.
Yeah. Why is Lysander so gross?
He's got a book coming, I'm sure.
An autobiography.
Yep.
Why
My
I'm
Life,
Gross.
The Chosen One.
By Lysander.
Yeah, The Chosen One by Lysander, also known as Why I'm Gross.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Like one of those parentheses subtitles, The Chosen One, parentheses, Why I'm Gross.
Yep.
It happens to the best of us when we're chosen by our undead deity.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, you wouldn't expect me to walk around with sunshine and rainbows.
Not in this campaign.
Yeah, see?
Okay, so now
Not
that
in the other campaign either.
most of the
Yeah.
troops are back, I'm going to troop away, and then we'll come back and see what
Yeah.
you guys get into.
A nap is what we get into.
I imagine.
There's no question. If we're not like we're sleeping somewhere, that's for sure.
I mean,
Right.
are we going to hole up in the bank? Are we going to go home? What are we going to do?
I don't know that we go home. I don't know that we actually left the building secure.
Yeah,
when
I
we-
think that if we are trying to get to the strong box,
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there is a troop of zombies between us and it. Potentially, even if we don't even know if it's in here, but
But if we sleep, we'll have the three of us will have our spell slots back.
Well, I mean, hear me out. We don't necessarily need to go all the way back to the manor to sleep. The manor I haven't been to yet, so I don't know about the manor.
Yep.
Zareth, at least.
Yes.
But I mean, we could barricade ourselves in that secret room or something and sleep there because I mean, the pressure plate for down here is on the ground floor, right?
Yeah.
And then we don't have to wait for daylight because we're already here.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
We
like
just gotta get our 8 hours of sleep.
I have some concerns about like if the zombies do overcome that barrier, getting us.
But once we get upstairs,
But
does
if we
the
we
stairs
go behind
up?
that bookshelf, perhaps that would be pretty safe.
Yeah.
And there's some of us that only need 4 hours of sleep, so it could be a rotating watch.
Yeah, I
for
could
those of
take
us that
a
need
few hours
8
of like quiescence pretty quickly, and then somebody else could take a
Are we,
watch.
are we allowed to do this? Is this okay?
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
Or can we just
We're
like
just
let them out
planning.
in the city? I mean,
Don't tell Patrick.
Just open the doors and lead them out and be like, here you go.
someone else's problem.
whoever has the highest movement speed, just start running down the streets of Great Urge with
Right.
a troop of zombies chasing you.
With your stake around your neck.
I'm sure that will.
Deal with the zombies and still go get rest.
That's right. That's right.
that'll do a lot for us in our public reputation. that we're
100%.
trying to
Yeah,
sure.
that's terrible.
build. Yeah. But I do think, like, the more time we spend looking at this door and it kind of like locking into place, and the same door that was holding them in that room essentially was holding them into place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it having some kind of like latch mechanism or something,
Sure.
which is why you have to be trained in athletics to get to do it and then move it and then
Yeah, and
And the stairs went down when he stepped on the plate,
Yeah.
yeah.
which means if he goes up, do the stairs go up and the metal plate?
Oh, if we find a way to like reclose it, yeah, then there would be essentially no way for them to get out. But
Yeah.
Assuming there's the thing about that though is that's assuming there's no trigger down here for people on this level to get out, because if there's people down here, how would they leave?
yeah, there's got to be a way. But also, somebody's got to be trained in like crafting or something to like kind of have an idea of how effectually are they pounding at this door. Like, are they just like a snake bouncing off his little terrarium glass, or is it like the door is like rocking and there's rubble falling from the door casing, and is it ready to just blow open?
yeah. What are the chances of them actually getting through this door versus are they just
Yeah, and if it seems like that the door holds them, we'll just close the other door as well,
yeah.
and then like you said, maybe just go up in that secret room and. Well, maybe
would-
not though,
I
because there
wouldn't
was a
go in there.
haunt
There
in
was
there
a haunt
too.
going
Yeah.
on in there. That'll
Yeah.
someone will get hungry and that'll fuck some people up.
Patrick,
I was so
we weren't
ready to go into that room.
I need a midnight snack.
We
Just
weren't
crawl over
strategizing,
to
I
the
swear.
bucket.
I could hear everything,
uh,
but that's okay because I think that's what you would naturally be doing. Is you're kind of like
Yeah,
What do
holding
we
this
do
door, like, what are we
now?
gonna do?
100%.
Because we're gonna come right back into it now.
Yeah.
Right back into you standing at the door, waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
As you just hear the slamming and groaning and growling of the horde behind this door, and for now the door seems to be holding its own. It is a pretty heavy iron door,
Okay.
as you know from trying to shut it.
So we're still in rounds, correct?
No,
No.
Okay.
no, we're gonna slow it down to exploration mode, as it seems like for now you've got this horde. Well, you have escaped it.
Sure.
I was going to say under control, but
That
you
is
don't
not
have
under
that.
control.
No.
It is
Not
definitely
at
not.
all.
I think we're all gonna go upstairs.
Okay. So you make your way back upstairs. I'm not going to go through the
Yep,
hassle
sure,
of
yep.
flipping the map
Sure,
or
sure.
anything. Make your way back upstairs. Was there a particular place upstairs that you thought would be where you want to go?
I'm pretty sure once we get to the top, we're all just gonna kind of stand there and go,
Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
Deep breath. I think though
"What the fuck?"
that armory room and the kitchen would be good places to maybe camp out, because yeah, like you said, the other secret room had a haunt in it.
Yeah, you ain't going back in there.
This at least
No.
we'll be able to hear if the zombies do break up upstairs, and we can do something about it maybe.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, the layout, like you also want to be close enough to where, if you hear someone come in the front door.
Yeah, I think that kind of gives us good visibility of the stairwell and the front door, and also maybe keeps us a good place we can defend if we need to.
Right.
and Patrick, can you remind me the windows on the ground floor? Like, do those rooms have windows that we're talking about?
There are no windows looking out of the building. The only thing that even closely resembles a window are the two teller windows that were fogged over with some kind of strange greenish white film.
Yep.
Right.
Okay,
If
so
I
we're
remember
good.
correctly, this bank is basically sandwiched between two newer builds,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of
Yeah, the Builders League had built several buildings for the Tax Collectors Union all around this
Yeah.
building.
Cool.
Sounds like a plan, huh?
Well, as soon as we get our self situated, I'm just gonna like lean up against a wall and just be like,
Okay, so I'm taking it now that everybody has made their way upstairs.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Can we have Remy close that second door just for
yeah.
to be sure?
yeah.
yeah, certainly can. Now, interestingly enough, what is the order that you're going up the stairs?
I will go first up the stairs.
Okay, as you make your way up the stairs and out of the stairwell and back into the room where the smoke-eyed creature was, the stairwell iron lid starts to close over the stairwell.
I'll step on the iron lid.
It opens back up.
I'll stay there, presuming because I have the key. I'll stay there and let everyone else filter out before the thing shuts.
Okay, so you kind of squeeze into the
Yeah.
spiral staircase as everyone passes you.
Yeah.
And then once everyone passes you, you can have Remington close that second door, and then everyone gets up through the stairwell. And then once you step out of the stairwell and off of the iron plate, it grinds shut over the stairwell.
Cool, love it.
I have a question.
Sure.
So, would you take a crafting to see if, like, while we're down there and then moving up, is there a way to engage this from the basement level? Like a way to... Is there a switch on the bottom level?
You would think maybe there would be, like common sense, I think would assume that. But I think Lysander just kind of demonstrated what the mechanism is. And you haven't seen anything that's like a physical switch or lever that would open this up. Aside from the fact that, as he said, he's holding a key, and that's granted him passage through this iron slab.
Right. So effectually, if somebody doesn't have the key, they could get trapped down there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, does the key also function from the basement level? Like, does that initiate the stairs descending, like, while they're down there, or is it the pressure plate?
The stairs don't move.
It's
The
just
stairs
the
are a
plate
permanent
on the
stairwell.
top.
It's just
Oh,
this
gotcha.
iron slab that grinds into the stone floor.
Okay.
As the person with the key approaches, touches it, it opens, and then if they're standing on top of it going down, it will open for them.
Got
Okay.
it.
But as they pass
Gotcha.
through and leave, it will close behind them.
Okay.
Love it.
Gotcha.
Sweet. So we got 3 solid pieces of metal between them and us.
Yeah.
So good.
And one that's not going to open if they ain't got no key.
Right.
And if they got a key, I have questions. We've got all the keys.
Yeah. 20 copies of that key.
Right. Yeah, okay, great.
Okay.
So now that you've kind of sussed that out,
Yeah.
and you know that, like Murda said, there are 3 metal barriers between that horde and you, what do you want to do?
Sleep.
Sleep.
Rest.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
I think right away I'm gonna try to heal myself.
Okay, you're gonna just plop
Just-
right down and do
yeah,
3
as soon as
wounds?
we get up there, I drop my machete and shield and like
Okay, go for it.
dirty 20.
Oh, okay. Yep, so that will get you 2d8 back.
14.
All right.
That's good.
So there, you guys were discussing kind of what would be a secure spot if you're going to rest here in the bank, and kind of to reiterate what you know from upstairs, because it has been a week since
Sure.
we've seen that. The hallway. So the place that you're at right now with the iron slab is kind of a larger chamber to house this iron slab with a thin 5-foot long hallway leading out of it, and that 5-foot long hallway has a door on the left that opens up into the teller's area.
Yep.
It has another door that opens up on the left into the lobby where
Yep.
you found the statue.
Yep.
It has 2 doors on the right, one to the kitchen where they were cooking the books, as Alara said, and one past that into the armory where Zareth discovered that cabinet full of interesting things.
I think we're gonna head to the armory.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll follow you
'cause
there for sure.
It's close, and it's also relatively secure.
Sure.
Yeah,
We
so
might be able
the-
to barricade some of those racks and stuff if we were really worried about getting overrun.
You sure could. And the with that armory, that you'll have 2 doors between you and the lobby, essentially. And so that means there are 3 doors between you and the outside world.
Right.
The main
Yes.
entrance, the door off of the lobby into the small hallway, and the door into the armory.
Right.
So, if you decide to post watch, you can just watch from within the armory, or you can station someone out in that little hallway.
Watching the entryway or whatever.
Yeah, and you can keep an eye on that iron slab if you're in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just maybe 40 feet down the hall.
Yeah. I like that plan.
Gotta take a broken piece of scythe and wedge it into the bank front door.
Well, there was all those boxes that were over in that main room. I'm sure there's broken pieces of it. You could probably wedge under that door.
Yeah, in the lobby where you found that satchel that had the hidden stuff,
Yeah.
there's tons of like broken crates. Like people were going through stuff in a hurry. It's
I'm gonna try to lock the bank door from the inside
Sure.
yeah, you could, yeah, if you want to,
before I.
yeah. So
Roll out my
maybe do a
bedroll.
thievery to because you don't really have the key for it. But we'll
Right.
give you a thievery, and remember that is an acid damaged lock. So and you could tell that that may have made it a little easier to break through. But with your tools, you are able to get a functioning lock again on the
Sweet.
on the door. So
Love it.
give it a little jiggle, and it seems secure for now.
Awesome. I, just throw my little bed pack out and just kind of lean up against the wall.
Okay.
Same. After I secure the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over by that cabinet that was open and just kind of start blinking out, essentially. But as I do that, I am gonna look over at Lysander and say, "Thank you so much. You saved me. You didn't have to. You didn't have to. You could have saved Remy, but you saved me. Thank you, because I don't know if I would have made it without you."
No worries. It wasn't even a choice.
Well, I certainly honor your commitment to this group.
So as everyone is kind of settling in to get a little bit of a rest, yeah.
As they're in their room, I'm gonna do like a once over, just kind of walk through the upper floor of the bank to make sure that there's nothing up there.
Just a patrol.
Just to
Shield-
patrol,
shield
make sure
up and
everything's
stuff?
clear before we.
Underneath all the scythe traps.
Was this the door shrink? Hey, anybody see Zareth?
He hasn't been back for watch.
I hope Haldoli has lots of people just lined up ready to come play in this bank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang.
I see poor Zareth has met his demise. Here's
Look what
another guy named Jareth. who will
Look what
join
you have. Look what you have done.
His twin brother.
He also loves food.
No, everything. So yeah, you know where to kind of watch out for these things, and they have all the levers have been set to kind of like disable these, so should be okay. So we'll give a couple of perceptions as you go about, and you don't really notice anything untowards. Do you walk into that room with Teligmit's office?
No,
Okay, just wanted to check.
Nope.
no,
Not
actually,
You sure you
don't even
kinda
go in
just
that.
peek in
I don't
a
go
little
through.
bit? No?
I don't go past the scythe trap at all.
Okay. All right. So yeah, after a little patrol, you don't really find anything of interest.
Okay.
When you come back for patrol, I will ask if you can work on Remy.
Work on
Heal him.
heal him. Absolutely. 18.
18 total?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a success with Stitch Flesh.
7.
Love it. Thank you.
Yep.
And he just like sits down like the best, like tattoo person and just as you're just like stitching him up. Doesn't flinch, doesn't move.
I am bound by oath to protect the undead.
Yeah. Indeed you are.
Okay. And,
These guys are weird.
Yeah.
And I like blink back like, what the?
So creepy, these guys.
So who's gonna take a watch if there is gonna be a watch?
Laura will.
Take the
Yeah, because
first
she's
go?
going to notice that Mert's, like,
He's already
Yeah, I was
traumatized.
like,
Deeply
well,
traumatized.
it's like, well, I guess I've got that. Guess I've got the first watch.
Okay, so we'll just kind of do maybe a couple hours each or something like that along
Yeah.
those lines. So as you're kind of going through your watches, a couple hours pass. There's no activity. There's no banging on this iron slab that you can hear anyway. And yeah, you feel your eyes are getting heavy, and you feel like I need to rest. So who do you get next?
Let's see our 4-hour people. Are we the only 4-hour people now?
I suppose so.
Okay.
So yeah, I can certainly take second watch.
Yeah. Then I'll go get Mert.
Okay. All right. So Mert. Yeah. Again, there's everything is uneventful. It's eerily quiet in here,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, we killed everything. Well,
On this floor.
on this floor.
And there's still another one that goes even further down.
I know.
So if all 4 of those rooms have zombie troops in them, we're
Toast?
screwed.
So that's that between the two of you. That's do you want to go for the full 4 hours like that, or
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so everybody else has 8 hours of sleep then. Wake up and you kind of take a couple hours of rotations each as your ghostly companions rest, and whatever time of day it is, you have no idea.
Yeah, no clue.
But you feel like you have rested, and it has been uneventful, and you're ready to face another
The rest of the
grueling
zombie troop.
day, night, whatever it is, here in the bank.
Love it.
Should you choose to do so.
As part of my, preparations, my morning stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still hurting a little bit, so I'm gonna try to heal myself again with my healer's
Oh,
kit.
yeah, sure.
That is a 9.
Okay, so not a critical failure, but yeah, you don't really get any benefit from that.
Okay, I'm gonna try to repair my shield.
Oh, okay, sure. So as everyone's kind of
That is a 7.
okay.
I'm ready.
I'll send Remy over to you to see if you can patch him up some more.
Okay,
Watch this, natural 20.
17.
There you go.
Okay, that's a 2d8 on a stitch flesh.
6 points.
Love it. Thank you.
Trying to determine the repair DC with crafting. Is it 15 or is it the DC of the item? Is it like a flat DC of 15 or 20, or is it the DC of the item? We'll figure that out. As we're figuring that out, what do you guys get all your preparations in? Ophelia, your little visitor climbs out of tattoo mode, and you commune with I can never remember its name.
Kith.
Kif. Okay.
Yeah,
And,
he's never seen him.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a-
right. Yeah. So as you're sitting there, maybe repairing your shield, you notice that one of her tattoos kind of comes to life and crawls down off of her,
Oh,
and appears, and she spends an hour communing with this creature.
It's a little dimorphodon.
yeah. I just
It's-
kind of watch on like,
It's as if you would know exactly what that is.
Right?
It's a little reptilian creature, it's all shadowy, and
Yeah.
Patrick,
You join the creepy club.
this says the GM sets the DC, but it's usually about the same DC to repair a given item as it is to craft it in the first place.
Okay, and since it's just a standard shield, yeah, it's you don't critically fail with a 7. Lucky you.
As we're getting ready, I'll probably slip into the kitchen and have a little snack. At least,
try to.
yeah. I mean, I'll pull out some rations out of my bag, but maybe just hum a little tune and think about trying to remember using a kitchen, right? Using a stove to heat up the eggs and the sausage and get a boil on to get some tea going, and at least just try to remember it as I'm kind of working on my hardtack and jerky.
Ghost touch jerky.
Yeah. And maybe once I'm done with that, I would check with Alara as well. Say, are you good? Do you need patched up at all before we move on? Or
No, I'm actually pretty good. It's
great.
I wish I knew what time it was, but
Yeah.
there's no windows and
I think Ophelia locked the front door, so we should probably leave that alone until we
yeah.
finish our business in here.
I want to try to heal myself again.
Okay, so you'll have to wait an hour to get there.
Really?
Yep, because
Okay.
you're immune to treat wounds for 1 hour after you attempt.
Okay, I'll just wait.
Okay.
During that time, during the hour, if he's going to wait, I'll have him try to patch Lysander up.
Oh, okay.
That's an 8.
That hurts. Stop it.
Almost.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're only level 2, so
I know, right? It's rough.
we're working on it.
All right. I'm good.
Okay. So, what are we gonna do today or tonight?
I imagine we're going to go back down and deal with this zombie horde. But we got to figure out a way to deal with that because it's not going to be okay. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, does anybody have any abilities that they could use to attack the entire horde at once, as opposed to taking them one at a time? My greatsword isn't necessarily built for
Mass
engaging
casualties.
that many targets in tight quarters.
Alara and I have cone spells. I have burning hands, and she has her
Haunting him.
haunting him.
Well, I have a question because The door closest to the stairwell has like a slot, right?
Yes.
So could verbal spells be cast through that slot?
Oh.
If you can see the area that you're targeting, yeah. Now,
Oh.
so the slot, however, is here,
Oh.
right? So this antechamber here was like a little guard room where people can look in to see who is coming down the stairs. So the slot's in this door. The horde's out here.
But we could potentially, especially Zareth, might be able to throw that door open and retreat.
Now, I
Then-
would rule that Burning Hands isn't going to work that way because Burning Hands is a cone that originates from the caster, and it would just
Right.
blast against the door. Yeah. So,
Oh, nah, no.
20 rounds of hunting him, though.
It's gonna take a while.
Get that one D8 of
Yeah.
sonic damage each time.
We'll get there.
We
Okay.
Could, we could lure him up to the side trap
Kind of
upstairs.
like, this is the hymn that never.
Well,
yeah, it is a conundrum, right? Like to really figure out how are we
Yeah.
going to get past this because, yeah, I mean, you haven't even gone back down the stairs yet to check out the situation.
We could also try to split up. Since they have to move as a unit, I could certainly push my way through them, and if they have to chase me, I'll run the other way down the hall, and maybe we can at least split up their focus enough to maybe fight them on multiple sides. They can't charge over all of us at the same time.
Interesting.
They certainly can try.
Yes, yes, they can. I am witness to that.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Are we aware of any specific weaknesses that they have?
That sounds like an old recall knowledge.
Hey, Remington, what weaknesses do you have?
I'm weak for any fashion sale.
A well-tailored suit.
I'm slow.
I am slow.
Okay, so you think about, like, you've dealt with zombies now several times. The farm,
Sure.
a couple other places. You know, you're not well versed in this, but you can recall that when anything that was like a zombie, like even Moscuda, the cow, if that was hit with a slashing weapon, it seemed to do more damage to it. And clearly, you know, even though there's a number of these things, hacking away at them with slashing weapons will still hurt them. Now, these are kind of formed up in a troop, right? So mechanically, they're a swarm. So they're going to take that extra slashing damage, but they will also take extra damage from splash attacks. Yeah, and area damage.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, that seems kind of instinctual, right? That you need something to blast the entire area that they're coming through, not just try to engage them one-on-one.
Yeah, because with this, there really is no kind of one-on-one. You're swinging wildly into the horde and lopping off limbs, or you know, chopping through a skull cap, and you know, it's enough of them, they will fall that the horde starts getting smaller.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to jump? Do Alara and I just want to jump out real quick out of the door and just blast them and see what happens?
I liked Mert's idea about, you know, splitting up and kind of trying to attack them from all sides. You can't get all of us at once, right?
Yes, they can.
The problem is that if we do our cone effects, it could hit you guys if
That's
you're
true.
on the other side of it.
That's true.
And I mean, I know we were retreating, and I know, Mert, you were kind of in a bad spot trying to fight those things with those close quarters. I mean, who's to say that if he runs off down a hallway, gets himself surrounded, and now it's just him by himself? There's nothing there to, you know.
Well, if they take the bait and chase me, I assume that will leave them vulnerable to your guys' attacks. And I'm pretty quick at need.
What if we let Ilara and Ophelia pop off their cone attacks, and then we just gun it down the hall?
You mean you and I create a wedge and charge through, and then have the rest of the team fight them from the other side?
Yes.
I'm game.
That's if they haven't meandered down back the hall. Back down the hall. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been several hours since you left them banging at that door, so who knows what
Maybe
trouble they've got
I'll
into.
go back over to the pressure plate and step on it, open the door, see what I can see.
They can't smell us, so they ran away. They just meandered back into their hole. Who
So-
knows?
Yep, who knows? Yeah, so you go back over the iron plate, and as soon as you step on it, it grinds into the floor, and revealing that spiral staircase down. And the staircase is empty.
Great. Remy and I are going down,
Okay. I
and
kind
then I'll
of.
wait to make sure everyone comes through so the door doesn't shut on them.
Yeah, me and Zareth are kind of walking abreast, and I'll kind of, all right, so.
Yep.
We doing this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna let the girls blast them, and then you guys are gonna flood out into the room or down the hallway.
Yeah. Try to distract them so that they can continue to wail on them.
Okay,
It's as good a plan as any.
I love it.
I mean,
Let's go.
it is.
And if truly they don't take the bait, then you guys have the safeguard of having Remy close that second door and potentially hitting him through the slot. Or if we die, then you have that option available to you as well.
I don't think that's gonna happen. We're not gonna leave you.
Oh, okay. You're not going to leave their bodies here behind. Okay. Well,
Thanks. Yeah, I won't. I don't know if you
Hey,
can
for
leave my
teamwork.
body. I think I will just dissipate. There's no body there.
yeah.
Okay,
All right.
well,
So we're going to filter
he
down.
would make a good zombie. I'm sorry.
Me?
No.
Oh, Zara.
Oh, so you would take him to the Stitchers and the... I got
Wow. You hear what they're threatening you with?
I know.
Keeping him forever as our bestest buddy and meat shield.
So we'll filter back down to this.
Serves us in life, serves us in death.
Filter back down to this room. We'll make
Great.
sure that Alara's along for the ride too. She's hiding on there. So how do we want to be in this room here? The doors are still closed.
So the first door we come to, it was still secure, closed, and there's nothing in the room there. We filter back into the antechamber. Okay, so Remy's gonna have to open the door.
Or Zareth.
He's not trained in athletics,
Oh, right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it will have to be Remy.
so Remy's gonna have to open the door.
So yeah, put me and Zareth as close to
Or I
Remy as
guess I
possible.
could open the door if I stood there for 10 minutes.
True.
'Cause I'm trained.
That's true. But I feel like it would be better off
Well-
that he opens the door and you guys blast as soon as the door
Okay.
comes open.
Okay.
Can you do that though? Because I think like incorporating an item is different than like interacting with an item.
Yeah.
Right. So we may not. You may be able to like pick something up and bring it into your being, but I don't think you can pick up the door and.
I mean, that's probably true.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
Just,
so
just ghost problems.
So we have
Ghost problems.
Ghost
yeah,
problems.
ghost world problems. So we have Remy at the door.
And then
Who's going to be immediately behind him?
Ophelia and Alara,
Me.
right? Because
Yeah.
they're going to rush
And
out.
I'm gonna listen at the door before we open it.
I mean, that's
Okay.
true. So his plan is to get on the back side of the handle to the door and move with it as he opens the door.
Okay.
Essentially opening the line of fire for the cone,
Gotcha.
going out the door. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think Mert is, you're going to be back there with the, yep. I think that's probably, because Remy's going to have to move into the square next to him. Yep. After the door opens. That makes sense?
As the
So
door
he's moving
opens.
with the door
Yep.
into that square. I'm going to be in this far corner. Yep. And,
I'll be by Mert.
yep,
Front or
Yeah,
No.
right there's fine.
right there.
Yep.
Yep. Does that make
Right.
sense?
we are,
See what
we are
happens.
locked in.
Okay.
Oh well.
Good luck.
I cannot wait to see how this goes wrong.
May the force be with us. We're going to open that door and there's going to be no one there, and it's just going to be like echo down the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
you
turned-
give
Anyway.
a listen. And with this secret perception roll, you've got your ear against the iron, and you don't hear any banging or groaning or any of that.
Okay. I'm going to ready to cast my spell.
Okay.
If there's zombies on the other side of the door.
All right. Well, that sounds like we'll roll initiative and see how this
Here we
plays
go.
out then. Okay. All right, Ophelia.
19.
Zareth,
15.
Lysander,
Dirty 20.
Mert,
18.
and Alara.
21.
Wow. Okay, so
I like how he just laughs.
this could be a laugh of glee, joy,
before-
or maniacal.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Before we go in, I look at Mert and say, "Whatever happens in there, I got your back."
Just like that. That's creepy.
Whatever happens there, Mert, I got you.
Okay,
I saw you hack down your share. I'm sure we got this.
so everyone's kind of listening, like, okay, trying to hear as Ophelia's at the door. Everyone's kind of backed into position. Ophelia tells everybody, I don't hear them. You don't hear anything.
I give Lysander the nod for Remy.
Okay, so Lara is technically first
Yep.
based on her initiative. So you can either ready an action or you can delay. Because
I guess I'll ready my spell.
Okay, so we'll spend 2 actions. Is your spell a 1-action spell?
It is a. Oh, whoops! It's 2.
Okay, so
Ah,
yeah,
so
you
it's
can't
mine.
ready a 2-action
Oh, okay.
spell. Is the
Oh.
problem?
Mine's 2 action as well.
Oh, okay.
So-
Well, you can delay, and then when the
Yeah.
door opens, after that turn the door opens, then you
can
can
go.
just
Yep.
go in and blast.
Okay.
So we'll
that
put you in
works.
delay. Lysander.
Remy, pull the door.
Okay. He yanks the door open, slides into his empty spot. There's nothing in the immediate hallway that you can see. When the door opens, you do make out low rumblings and growlings and shuffling footsteps coming from down the hall somewhere. You can't see where.
Great.
So the door is open.
Yeah. Love that. Nope. I'm going to protect companion on Remy and shield on me.
Good calls.
Okay.
Zip, zoop.
Got it.
That's me.
That brings us to Ophelia.
Peekaboo.
I am going to step out into the hallway.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. So 1 action to kind of move out into the hall. And when you do, you see them milling about in the intersection.
Okay, with my full movement out the door, where does that take me? That's a 25.
As soon as I place all my zombies. Okay, so that's 5, 10. That's 10 here. 15, 20, 25. You're right in front of them as they're milling about. And as you move into this position,
Fantastic.
and you start to gauge that they're kind of spread out along this intersection, you kind of sweeping back and forth, and just on the edge of your vision, you can see those large granite skulls. Those vultures are not there.
Oh.
I cast Burning Hands.
Okay. So that's a 15-foot cone.
Yes.
I get a basic reflex.
Yes,
Yep.
you do.
Okay. All right. 23.
Ooh.
Rude!
I'm
Since when do
just-
zombies...
Reroll it.
Fair enough.
Nice.
be much less?
15.
Ah, that's a fail.
Okay. I'm going to take full damage.
Nice.
That's
Excellent
That's
use
how
of
you
the
use it.
spells.
Yep. Absolutely.
10 fire damage.
10 fire damage. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, you just spray out in this area. Just straight down the hall, 15 feet from this corner like this, or in that direction. Show me how. Straight ahead or to your right?
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead, 10 points of damage, and these guys are vulnerable to area attacks. So that does quite a bit more as
Yeah.
this flame just burns through, and you just see corpses one after the other just stumble and crumble to the ground as they are scorched and burning and still smoldering as several of them collapse to the ground.
Nice.
I love it.
I'm not really sure this was our plan. I see Ophelia go out into the hall, and I'm concerned for her safety. I was kind of expecting her to hold the door and blast it when they got to the door.
He's like, wait a minute, we didn't talk
So
about
I
this.
will.
Plans change.
Yeah. I will sudden charge, so that's stride twice.
Okay.
And then strike if I can get into range of them.
You need 50, right?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I'll get there and I'll give it a swing.
So you just go barreling around the corner and you see just this horde. Some of them are still like smoldering as the flames are guttering out
Okay.
on them.
It's a 1. I'm going to skullbone.
Okay. Thank you for not testing my passes to completion ratio.
18. Does that get him?
18 hits.
Whew. Thank goodness. Max. So that is going to be 19 points of damage.
Get there.
What? Wow.
I know, I watched it like tip over from the 3 to the 12. I was like, oh.
Yeah, so you
Deep
just this massive swing just like hacks through, and it's almost like, you just hack through multiple
Yeah.
bodies, and limbs are flying, torsos are severed, skull caps are flying off.
It's a hot murk through
Yeah,
zombies.
just several thud to the floor. That's 2 actions, yeah?
Yeah, so I get 1 more.
Oh,
And I'll swing again.
get wrecked.
Okay.
It's probably not going to get it though. It's definitely not going to. 12.
Unfortunately, it doesn't, but
But I'm there.
the damage is done. Zareth.
Okay, so seeing Mert having run out, I'm gonna do 1 movement 25 feet down the hallway, and then I'm gonna do a 2-action defensive advance. So I raise my shield and then charge through the zombies to the other side. Yeah, and then if I end it in range of an enemy, I can attack with my shield up.
Wow, okay.
So that is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, so for 2 actions, you get to raise your shield, move twice, and swing.
And yeah,
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Dang, talk about compression. Oh my
And
goodness.
what did you hit?
it is a
You said a
19 to hit.
Yep.
That's a hit.
And 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage, you say?
Yes.
Okay, Zareth. I think maybe for the first time on the show, you may dispatch your foe.
All right.
Okay, so
That's awesome.
whatever's left, I just slash through with the machete and just lop all their heads off.
After you've barreled through them with your shield.
Yeah,
So
dude, that's
maybe
awesome.
as you're charging through, you're just
Knocking
hacking
him off
away.
balance.
Yeah.
And as you're hacking away, just multiple of them are falling behind you as you just plowed your way through, and did enough damage to this horde of zombies, this troop of shamblers, until they are all crumbled and destroyed. And that's
Zareth
it.
understood the assignment with
We
the
are-
plan. Yeah,
we
the
are
plan
out
went
of-
swimmingly.
Oh, how the tables have turned, zombies.
Yeah,
What a little nap will do.
yeah. and a little foresight and planning and understanding your enemy, which is the recall knowledge has certainly helped with
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You mean not just letting them barrel out a room into your face and be like,
Yeah, well, they caught you by surprise.
for
a
sure
little
they
bit the
did.
first
Yeah, they
time,
did.
and it was kind of a panic moment.
Yeah, we didn't know how many there were.
yeah.
I mean, my heart was in my throat for a while there
Dude,
because
I'm
as much
telling you.
shit as I talk, I really get nervous when I'm about to kill a character.
Well,
Yeah, my fumble was a death sentence.
the
Yeah.
thing about it was like we had that one first action where it was like, okay, are we gonna stand here and fight these things, or are we gonna run? And then so it's like, okay, we're gonna use a couple of 2 actions here and 2 actions here,
Yeah.
and then it turned into how many actions can I use to run the hell away? Like how fast
Yeah.
can I get the hell away from these
Yeah, my
things?
swing
Yeah.
twice, move once was not effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many actions is the GTFO activity?
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
but after regrouping and
Yeah.
replanning, you've come back and you have successfully vanquished this horde of zombies, and
That's
the
right.
hallway lies open to you. No granite vultures to harass you. I don't know what that's about. And whatever
by the
room those zombies
zombies.
poured out of lays open to you.
And this was the plan, Mert. Come forward, blast them with the cone, and then you guys come in. See, it worked.
I agree. I was just nervous you being out there so far ahead
Yeah.
alone.
I knew you had my back.
Yep, I certainly was coming.
Yeah. I would like to, following Mert, so I have light, of course, move into the room that the Shamblers were in, and just kind of search that room and
Yeah.
see. Not that I expect there to be much left after having a, plethora of zombies smashed in that room, but we'll see what's there.
Okay, so I am kind of just assuming everyone's position here, but is everyone moving back into that room?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Now that the horde has been defeated?
I like watching the door. We had me.
Yeah, because Alora's gonna come around the corner and be like, "Did I not understand the plan?"
She's like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Where are these zombies?
We were supposed to go up to the zombies and do our cones.
Yeah. She let you do the cone.
Yeah, that's
It's-
okay.
it's fine.
If there's another room of zombies, you can totally do the cone.
I think her cone, your cone, yours is a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, her cone's free.
Yeah, mine's not.
I know, but yours roasted some shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roasted zombie.
So
There you
as you
go.
guys are kind of, tiptoeing your way through this massive pile of body
Death.
parts
Yeah.
everywhere.
Sure.
I'm sure it smells wonderful.
Mert, you're kind of, with your keen eye, you notice that a few of these zombies actually have black gems embedded in their forehead.
Oh.
And you may recall that Lysander specifically asked you to keep an eye out for gemstones, and it just
Sure.
maybe a glint in the candlelight caught your eye, and you thought that was weird. And you look down and you notice that there are gemstones embedded in the foreheads of some of these lopped off
Interesting.
zombie heads and or dead torsos.
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
I'll certainly point it out to Lysander and say, I found you your gems, and kind of point to the specific bodies that have those.
Great.
Yeah, with your keen eye for numbers, you assess that there are probably 4 heads that have these gems embedded in them. Okay, now if you're going to try and retrieve them,
Yeah,
we'll
I'd like
take
to try and
a
retrieve.
crafting or a thievery check to remove it without potentially damaging the gem.
So can I, as I walk up to the zombie and I'm looking at it, can I ascertain that it's not something that I can just reach down and grab off of it? Like, is it sunk into this thing's head?
It is like embedded in their skull.
Okay. Ophelia, can you use your little pick things and pry this thing out of this thing's head? If I try to get it out, I'm sure my mace is going to turn it into goo.
Okay.
It's a very good possibility. Okay, so
Kill me.
Just take your cudgel.
as you come up with your tools and you're kind of gathering them to figure out how you're going to do this.
Oh no.
I have a +8 in crafting.
Oh no.
Yeah. What's your plus in society?
8.
Okay, that's pretty good because as you're thinking about this, like, if we pull these out, sure, we'd have some gems that we can maybe Lysander could use, but I know that there are some people around Grey Dirge who have a little bit of a morbid sense of curiosity, and they would probably collect zombie heads with these gems embedded in them and pay a little extra if the heads were left intact. What do you say to that?
Oh.
Well, I could give them out for you, or we could earn a little bit more cash.
Whatever you think the best option is, I just have a collection that I'm trying to fill.
Sure.
So if you think it's the best, you take the whole head and cash the whole head in. I'm willing to be a team player.
Yeah, we might be able to buy you more lesser gems, or,
Yeah, sure.
or perhaps maybe
A
pop one
gem
of them
of
out
your
and sell the
choice.
rest.
Oh, that's okay. We can take all of them. If maybe it's a collection. Maybe it was the 4 horsemen of the horde.
Oh, you
Four
sell that
hordemen?
as
Is that what you mean?
the four hordemen.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and name them that way so we can sell them for an amped price. The forehead of the horsemen of the, apocalypse.
Okay. Well, here's what you know with a crafting check that is did for you. Is that if you were to pry each of these out and they remain intact, a single gemstone is worth 20 gold. Okay.
Oh.
If you pry them all out and keep them intact, all 4 of them, you can sell them as a potential set, and you could probably clear 100 gold for all 4. Now, if you think about some of the collectors that you may have, thought about in town or heard about through your knowledge of society, with them intact in the heads, if you find the right collector, you might be able to pull 110, 115 gold out of it.
Okay. That's good enough markup for me to leave him in the head.
as Mert meticulously takes notes.
I'm sure he does.
I run the numbers for Mert, so
Okay.
this is what we get if we do it this way.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the the kind of occult side of Great Urge, and you certainly would have that expertise. I wouldn't, right? So, yeah,
Rumblings and the
I'm not familiar with the sell price
Rumors
of
and
body
those.
parts, but apparently you are, and sounds great. 115 G's sounds better than 80. I can do that math.
Sure.
okay.
But Lysander, do you want to carry those for the time being, or
The
do you want me
heads?
to? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, I was gonna cut them off and tie them onto my belt with
Each
their.
head is 5 bulk.
Oh god. Okay, we're all gonna
We're
carry
all
one.
carrying a head.
Yeah, joking. Let's see, if a medium creature 6 bulk, that's 1 head. Yeah.
So custom.
Percent body mass of cranium.
So you know those
Somebody Google that for me.
I'm good.
you know those shrunken heads that they tie on the belts?
Oh, yeah.
These aren't so shrunken, but
Yeah.
Right.
stills.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That's cool. All right, so let me just reconnect to some of my characters here.
I'll make it easy for Lysander. I'll carry 2 of them.
Dang.
Sounds like a plan. Somehow you managed to carry all of these intact zombie heads that are completely devoid of any kind of necromantic energy. They're no longer like gnashing teeth or anything like that. You just
Right.
pull up the head. Really nice cut onyx gemstones in their forehead. And you're pretty confident you can get that 110, 115 out of it.
Sweet.
Great.
Lean on the 110
I
side.
heard some murmurs about somebody around here that might like something like this.
Yeah.
And wait a second. Is this onyx as well?
Yeah.
Just noticing. Seems like there's a theme.
Well,
The onyx,
Onyx.
skulls,
The vultures.
the vultures.
Yeah, those were likely just black granite, so they weren't
okay.
gemstone cut. They were just kind of rock.
Yeah.
But
I was
Yeah.
with you.
Same coloring.
yeah, so the black granite skull and vultures, the obsidian key, right, that you have,
Yep.
and now these black onyxes in the foreheads of these.
yeah, it
zombies.
seems to be clear that the people of Great Urge and maybe Geb as a whole are specifically interested in the dark, deep-colored gems,
Sure.
not necessarily the bright colors.
All right. So do we want to go across the hall into this other room, or do we want to continue down this right side?
I would like to make sure that there's nothing behind us.
Okay. Across the hall.
Listening at
Yeah.
the door.
I like across the hall.
All right.
More scratching
Fair
on the
enough.
door? I hope not.
Oh, boy. Let's see where you guys are at there. Okay. So you take a listen at that door, and
I
I'm
sure
assuming
do.
go through the checker for traps, and you're fairly confident there's no trap mechanism on this door.
Yeah, we're going to line up just like we did at that antechamber.
I like it.
I think that's going to be how we go through these doors.
Okay.
I can't do burning hands again, so.
Yeah, but
Doesn't seem to be locked. Are you going to swing this open, or are you going to let one of your compatriots do it?
What are my compatriots? Because I'm not trained in athletics.
Okay. You don't have to be. It's just a lot harder for you.
yeah,
That's okay.
Remy will
Okay.
pull the door open.
All right. So over here.
That's all right.
And we'll group you guys up to come over to this room and come on inside.
Where the fireball goes off. Boom.
And yeah, make a reflex save.
Yeah, or die.
Okay, so as you're kind of peering around this room, and you spend a few minutes kind of just looking around, it is another vault that all of the safety deposit boxes have been wrenched open,
Sure.
looted, emptied.
But no
It
bodies.
just echoes with emptiness, and there are no bodies in this room.
Okay.
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 Let's
Next.
step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Maybe.
was easy.
You want to come just up the hallway or go back across?
I mean, there's nothing in here of
Yep.
note.
Nope.
Okay. Then I'm gonna continue down the hallway.
All right. We'll just kind of go around the corner to that door.
Yeah, clockwise,
yep.
basically.
Sounds
Uh-huh.
good. So I'm guessing
And-
that's this
Yep.
one?
Yep.
Okay.
Listening at the door and checking for traps.
Good call, by the way, because I had already forgotten.
You're just going to have Remy open it.
Yeah, I mean,
To
that's,
his doom. No.
well, I mean, you know,
Okay.
it's tough being a bug.
You mean a minion?
It's tough being a minion.
For sure.
Okay. So I'll reveal this room as you open it according to your plan.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's the right one.
Oh, good.
I'm kidding. I know what's up. So you open up the door, and this is what you see. Heavy wooden chests and lockboxes line the walls of this room. Most of the lids hang open, revealing chests that all appear to be empty. A corpse lies near one of the chests with a torn label. Not the corpse, the chest has a torn label in the very far corner of the room. He's kind of draped over the chest, and you can just make out like a shipping label, maybe. Still affixed to it, but it's been torn.
Why can't these bodies wear name tags? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. But this body.
Well, you can't see any name tag from here. You'll have to get a little closer.
Sure.
Don't be shy.
How decomposed does this body look? How long does it look like that body's been there?
Well, you have to get a little closer.
You can push.
Great. I'm not getting any closer.
You can
But
push me
Come
in.
over here.
I'll come up and look at it because I'm curious. Yeah. A, what was the cause of death of this person, as well as, is this another member of the three-fingered hand?
yeah, for sure.
I'll move in and look around the room too.
Also, this is our first signs of potentially intact chests.
True.
That might just drive me in and throw a little caution to the wind in general.
Okay, so Mert, you're checking out the body or
Yeah.
the chest or
Oh, the body first.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you move closer to the body, it looks like it is. It was quick when it was alive.
Okay.
It appears to be maybe a slightly older gentleman. As you're kind of poking away at it, is of course wearing a one of those red cloaks with the embroidered three-fingered hand logo, and kind of laying on the floor next to it, like it fell out of his backpack as he died,
Sure.
is a small book.
I will move into the room when Zareth moves in to essentially help assist searching the rest of the room, leaving the aforementioned chest and dead body to Mert and now book.
Yeah. I'll point out that there's a book there if
Sure.
somebody wants to give it a look through.
I'll help Mert.
It's going to take me some time
look
to
through the book.
incorporate it. So
Yeah.
Okay, so you point out the book. Ophelia jumps at the chance to go through that.
I'm gonna help Mert.
And I'm
Oh,
sorry,
so
you
we
were
can
just
read
looking
it.
around the room
Yeah.
in general?
So I'm looking around the room in general, just kind of like all the other places besides where Mert is obviously focused on. I'm helping Zareth just kind of clear the room.
Okay. So yeah, you're going about the both of you, and as you're kind of like sweeping and clearing the room and kind of peering into each of the chests, they all appear to be ransacked and empty.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what you guys are determining. What was Alara doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. Checking out the boxes,
Okay.
looking at the chests.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, so as you're looking at this body closer, this is a middle-aged man, as I said, an older gentleman. The book, Ophelia, you pick that up, and there it appears to be some kind of journal. Do you flip through the journal?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of holding it so Mert can look through it while
Yeah,
I'm
that'd be great.
flipping.
All right.
I'm shoulder surfing.
So you kind of flip through, and it gets kind of mundane and boring, kind of through the beginning few entries. Some of it is just describing the weather, certain people in Great Urge to stay away from. Like I don't like this, this person smells bad. Probably a ghoul in parentheses. And on one page there's a shopping list, etc., etc. But you're getting the impression that this guy was kind of hard on his luck. I mean, he was a quick and Great Urge. He's just looking for a quick buck and trying to stay alive, and fell in with this three-fingered hand gang. And one of the more recent entries has on the top of it just scratched "new job?" ? And then there's a sketch of kind of a street map, maybe looks like several street intersections. There's also, there's like a little symbol that looks like a mug. That's kind of sketched near one of the intersections, and that's what you see. And your lore is, do you have lore Mekatar or lore Greydirge? I think it was Mekatar, right?
I don't have either.
Okay. Maybe I was thinking about somebody else.
I have lore greeters.
Okay. Do you show this journal to anybody?
Yeah. Does anybody know about Greydirge and like what this cup symbol might mean?
Let me take a look.
Okay, as you're kind of taking a look at this map that she's talking about, there seems to be, this is a quick and dirty map of a section of the Court of Ghouls, which you know is kind of the market district of Greydirge. This particular intersection, and you kind of putting two and two together with this little symbol of a bug the guy drew, you think that there is a tavern there called the Crooked Coffin Tavern and Brewery. That's what you find for the most part on the body.
So, Zareth, are you saying that this tavern is potentially where he went to get recruited for this cult? Certainly is worth checking out.
Yeah, because didn't we find a pouch with a coffin on it further up the bank?
I don't remember the
It was
symbology
like,
on a
it
pouch.
was like the maker's
Wasn't
mark
it-
was a coffin.
Yeah, that's right. It was a. I don't remember what it was.
It was some kind of vial.
Oh, there was a flask
Mm-hmm.
with the coffin insignia with the lid. Yes.
Which, when you think about that, you're like, oh yeah, that's like the logo for that bar.
Why would it be
Interesting.
a vial?
And yes, and it was by we found it on the man that had the wraps.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yeah, in the chamber with the Asobak.
So, this tavern is a possible meeting place for this gang.
Looks that way. There definitely seems to be some kind of connection.
Well, and if they smelled like yeast.
Yep.
Finally
The-
get the
the-
yeast joke. It's a slow burner. But,
Yes. I was torn between. I was thinking more like grain because
Yeah,
they were
I-
at the farm.
I was too. But yeah.
I like that.
Then brewer's yeast that's
Yeah.
a special smell.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And that's why those vultures did not like the tasty taste or the smelly smell.
All right. Well, that's interesting.
Well, there's that chest.
Yeah. So what are we doing about this dead? Is he still like leaning over this chest?
Yeah, you'd have to kind of slump him over to get a little more access to the chest.
Yeah.
I'll kick him off
Yeah,
the
I'll just
chest.
boot him.
I'm gonna step out in the hallway.
Okay,
Something killed this guy, and I don't want to be part of it.
makes sense.
Hey, I'm not all stitched back together yet. Okay, so
True.
Okay, so who's like wrenching this corpse off of the chest so they can see inside it?
I can basically just boot it off to the side.
no, you
Okay.
can't.
Like a
Like a-
strike, basically.
Like
Oh, you're gonna hit it,
like
yeah,
in
okay.
Athletics,
Oh.
just kind of kick it. Yeah, I'll go with that.
That'd be-
So it kind of like slides off
Yeah.
and thuds to the ground. And inside the chest, there are a residue at the bottom of the chest that looks like a grayish paste.
Interesting.
And also some bits of broken glass.
Oh.
Okay, I was gonna touch it, but I think I will not.
Was that? What would the tremor paste look like?
It looks
So-
exactly like that.
I was gonna say
Okay.
I probably have some of that sample still left in my pack, so I can definitely pull that out and just kind of hold it right up to the.
It looks
What's in the bottom?
exactly the same. And looking at that shipping label, you see the word Sallows.
Sallows.
That we've seen that before.
Sallows.
Where did we see that before?
I don't know. At the farm?
It's not really ringing a bell.
Yeah, I don't think I have that in my notes.
I wouldn't know.
sounds
Don't
familiar.
look at me.
Sallows.
It sounds familiar.
I mean, sounds like silos, but
No, it sounds familiar. I just can't remember where I heard it.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can't really place it. Nothing's really coming to mind as you're kind of pondering over this torn shipping label that just bears the word Salos.
well, let's check out this other room. I don't want to leave things unfinished unless you don't feel like we're done in here.
I will say, Zareth, that as you're looking at this, and with your time in the Carter's League, I think you said it was, before your time with Berlin, or as you got to know Berlin, you know from carting things around that these kind of labels usually were for shipment, like a source label. Like this is where this came from.
Okay.
And there's no labels on anything else.
No, from what we know of Trimmer Pace, that wouldn't be what killed him. So that's still a mystery.
Unless it's different.
I'm gonna take my glove off and I'm gonna reach up and I'm gonna touch the back of this dead body.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to use read psychometric resonance.
Okay. Remind me again. Is this one of your spells?
Yeah.
No, this is an ability.
Yeah. Okay.
The last moments.
So I essentially function similar to detect magic in that you move only half your travel speed. You must brush your bare hand over an object you pass while you're doing this. This detects objects with significant emotional resonance attached to them, such as joy from child's beloved teddy bear, sorrow from a widow's wedding ring, fear from a victim's murder weapon. If you're looking for a particular type of emotional resonance, you can choose to ignore other emotions to find an item with that resonance. You can explore this resonance with the following action.
Okay. So, as you touch this corpse, this is where your eyes roll back and you get these visions. You're kind of taken into the mind of this guy where he's sitting in a room. It's hard to tell what this looks like, but it smells in here. It smells like yeast, and you can hear like boiling, bubbling somewhere, maybe.
Sure.
And he's scratching in a journal, and he's looking around with disdain and mistrust.
Yep.
And there's an underlying sense of desperation, the kind of desperate feeling that a man has when he's down to his last few coppers and he doesn't know where the next meal's coming from.
Sure.
And he's doing what he can. And that's what you get.
Sure. So he pulled, like, I yanked my hand off of the thing and put the glove on really fast. And his eyes kind of flash back into his, you can see him through the little mask there. And he just, this guy was, he was desperate. He was looking for something. I'm not sure if what he was looking for he found, or he was just so desperate that he was going to look for anything. I don't know.
Perhaps how he could have gotten mixed up in all this.
Well, when you're desperate, you make bad decisions.
I think I'll take some rest, some time, like 10 minutes, to look over the corpse thoroughly and maybe, make a check to see, is there any specific wound patterning or maybe sign of illness or something? Can we tell, like, what killed this guy?
Yeah, if you're spending a lot of time kind of pondering over him and looking at him, you notice that there's some discoloration around his lips.
Oh.
But no obvious wound patterns.
So maybe he did consume this paste, or at least enough of this paste. Or maybe got some of the broken glass consumed. Why? I don't know what would drive somebody to eat the paste that has broken vials around it. I guess if you were truly starving maybe and stuck down here.
Say,
Oh.
I mean, if if he got left and the door wouldn't open,
But tremor paste wouldn't kill someone, would it?
No, but if you starve to death, it sure would.
So not on its own.
right?
And as you're looking,
Yeah.
I got a really good roll on your medicine check.
Okay.
So not only is there that kind of that
Pasty residue.
discoloration around the mouth, and it's maybe more from like, not that the paste itself is like staining his lips, but like there was some kind of reaction
Yeah.
that caused this. If you kind of, spend 10 minutes and kind of, get to where you can manipulate him, maybe you pull his eyelids open,
Sure.
and his eyes are just bloodshot through.
Jeez.
Yeah, and when Zareth mentions that, you think maybe this is what happens when you mix the two,
That's
the
terrible.
brain grit and the tremor paste together could have this effect.
If they're mixed prior to being consumed.
Oh, wow.
Well, I hate that.
Yeah.
Well, not we. I wasn't part. I heard tellings from so when Berlin briefed me on the situation, didn't you find brain grit in the grain silos? But did you find evidence of
We
tremor
found-
paste being added to anything?
We found trimmer paste in a courier satchel,
Yeah.
but it was not added on to anything.
Yeah, one
yet.
of these
I mean,
cultists was carrying it and they got stuck in the swing gate.
So
So
I
they didn't
can't-
get to achieve the combination.
I can't help but wonder if the tremor paste is being added elsewhere.
who
Perhaps.
knows? I don't know.
But it seems like there
mean-
was a great deal of it in this chest, not just the few vials we found on those cultists.
What kind of grain was it?
The grain itself in the silos.
Was it bread grain or was it beer grain?
Because I'm wondering if they
I
were
mean,
Not a
adding
cook, so I'm.
Yeah.
if they were adding it to something at the brewery.
Well, to be fair,
Could be barley, sure.
it was. We were told that farm specifically supplied food.
Yes.
I mean, not necessarily. It's not. You can't really narrow it down like that, but I'm assuming it's probably more like.
Yeah, the wheat could be ground
Yeah,
or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but it was specifically, that farm was specifically designed to create foodstuffs
Yep.
for the quick
Right.
of Great Urge.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
But who's going to notice some paste in the bread dough?
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
once the grain is processed, it would be pretty much undetectable as far as we would know.
Well, even if that grain wasn't meant for the brewery, if the brain grit was in that grain and it was baked into bread or something else, and then
Yep.
the tremor paste was mixed with something at the brewery, and then you give someone a meal, maybe this is what happens.
Yeah, if you combine these, certainly the
like if the paste is in the drink and the brain grit is in the bread,
yeah.
and then you eat it and it has a chemical reaction together.
Yeah, so this cult of Quick, for whatever reason, have motivations to poison the Quick of Great Urge, which seems very strange because the description we got from the bone shards was that the leader of this, the three-fingered hand, was a changeling, and I mean maybe she was an undead changeling, I suppose, but if many of these cult members are Quick themselves, why would they want to do this to their fellow Quick?
Who
It makes
knows?
no sense.
I don't know.
But we need to get to the bottom of who the Sallows
Yeah.
is and why they had a possession of such a high volume of this deadly cocktail
Right.
of ingredients. Huh.
Well, I guess we haven't seen any. I mean, we don't know if there's any evidence of the brain grit coming through here as well. So maybe we should be keeping an eye out for that.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Could be more of it elsewhere.
Well, let's see what's in that room there.
Yeah, let's check the other room and see if there's anything else.
Checking for traps
Okay.
and noises.
All right. And I thought as much because I was rolling some rolls while you guys were pondering the mystery of the Sallows.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Now it's gonna
And-
be I'm checking for traps and zombie noises.
This
And noises.
you're checking out this door,
Period.
Yeah.
and you're not seeing any kind of mechanism on the door itself, but the door is not entirely closed as you're examining it. It's kind of open, maybe just a crack, like something has jammed it to where it can't close all the way. And there's just this little trail of bones kind of falling out of this crack. Just like little knuckles and phalanges and bits of bone.
Sounds like open the door, get swallowed by a bone trap. I back up down the hallway.
Or
Now-
one of our phalange friends.
That's right.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
you can, using thievery, you can probably figure out a way to slowly open this door and control if that is in fact what's going to happen. But you do get the sense that there is something behind this door, and you can almost, if you're trying to like even get in there and wedge something in there, it feels like there's some pressure. And if you pull open this door quickly, it'll just all come out. Just imagine there's like a sand dune behind this door just
Right.
waiting to fall out into the hall. That's what you were able to detect with this perception roll you made.
Nice.
Okay, so we need to open this slowly
Sure.
and maybe try to control the flood of whatever finger bones and
Oh,
Now here's the actual, this is a hazard.
say
You've detected it. To actually disable this hazard, it will require a thievery or a stealth in order to rig this door so that as you slide it open, it also like controls the flow of the bones.
I suppose that would be Ophelia.
yes. I have a 6 in both of them. Is that a me roll or is that a
I'm gonna
you
let
roll?
you roll.
here we go.
So got your skull bone too.
I know.
Here we go. Here we
I
go.
might need it.
No, you're not gonna need it.
Oh, I rolled an 18 on my die.
Yeah.
So that's a 24.
Fantastic. So with a couple minutes and you kind of, work with your team, you slowly slide open this door and do so in a way that these bones don't come rushing out. There's a controlled kind of
Yeah.
landslide of bones.
Zareth will stick his shield on the inside of that door, so when it comes out, it just
redirect
sheds,
it, yeah.
It just sheds down
like
the
it.
hallway.
Yeah.
Oh, is
As
that what you
Remy
did?
Yeah,
pulls
that's
it
what he's
open.
doing.
Yes, I do that.
Maybe you planned that as she's like
We did.
talking about this. Okay. So yeah, you managed to disable this trap because had you
Awesome.
just opened this door, this would have buried everyone in this hall with these bones. And Mert knows exactly how that feels.
I sure do.
But this kind of controls the slide out, and now you can kind of crunch your way into the room if you want to do so, and give a look around in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
down.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
So you spend 10 minutes or so kind of, it's a sea of bones in here.
Sure.
Like someone piled bones to the ceiling. And set this up.
Considering my short stature, I could probably float a little bit above the pile.
Sure,
And
sure. Okay. So I'm going to make some perception checks. Oh, yeah, easily. Wow. 3 natural 20s out of 5 perception checks.
wow.
Wow.
As you guys are crunching around the bone, you almost feel the texture change as you're all kind of walking over the same spot. You start digging away, you find a chest.
Hey,
Okay.
What do you do with the chest?
how big is this chest?
Pretty big.
Is there a label on it?
There is not a label.
We check it for traps.
And I back up out of the room.
It is not. Does not appear to be trapped.
Is it locked?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna open the chest.
Okay, you swing this chest open. The chest itself is lined with actual teeth. At the bottom is a cushion of red velvet. Inside, laying in that red velvet, is a morning star, forged in the shape of a spiked human skull, and a pile of silver coins.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool looking.
The chest itself,
Sorry.
as you're looking at this, that really nice velvety cushion at the bottom, the meticulousness, craftsmanship in lining the chest with the teeth,
Yeah.
and the woodwork on the outside. This chest itself is worth 10 gold.
All right.
So if you spend some time counting out the silver pieces, there's about 50 silver. The chest is worth 10 gold, and this really nice morning star with a spiked human skull. With your crafting check, you think this is probably made out of cold iron.
Boy, oh boy.
And I'm gonna read aura.
Okay. You
Yeah.
spend a minute reading aura. It is not magical. It's just the fact that it is made out of cold iron.
That's
It's not magical, but it's pretty cool.
That's good.
That's huge.
I kind of want to swing it around.
Yeah, I've taken pretty dubious notes of all of the.
Good.
You just spend some time bashing bones.
This feels great.
Well, she's doing that with the Morning Star. I'll be kind of carefully looking over the workmanship of this case and definitely agree that we could definitely sell this if we decide to get it out of here.
Yep.
And
It's a fairly sizable chest, but I think between Remington and Zareth, you can probably lug it out of here without it.
probably like 2 paragraphs of description in my little journal here for her,
Very meticulous.
Of course.
Note taker,
Yes.
of course.
Eye for numbers, there's exactly 1,200 teeth inside this chest.
Very close.
I don't know.
So right here, page 50.
I'm sure it has that number in there.
It does now.
But as you come back out, you don't really see any other way to go.
Other than down.
But yeah, there is the thing down. But as you're coming back out in the hall, Ophelia, you notice that there, at the end of the hall, there's some kind of, well, actually, yeah, there's a switch at the end of the hall there.
Oh.
Hey guys, we're not done on this floor yet.
I was pretty much ready just to press on to the next plate, but
Yeah.
what is it?
There's a switch.
So when she points it out, what's it look like?
Well, I'll tell you what that looks like
Don't you dare.
next week.
God, God dang it.
But will it be next week? Because next week is Memorial Day.
That is
Great
an
point.
excellent point. Thank you for bringing that up. So yes, that is true. In fact, next week we won't be live to out of respect for everyone's family and for the holiday here in the United States. We will be celebrating Memorial Day, and we will not be live here on Monday. However, we will be back Tuesday for Soul Severed at the
Yep.
normal time, 6 o'clock Eastern. So be sure to tune into that.
So what's that switch look like?
All right, I'll tell you what it looks like.
Yeah, we need a teaser, man. We need something to go off of. Oh man.
Sorry, I hate to.
No.
I hate to bring that up, but no, you're not
it's at
gonna.
the
No,
end
we're
of
not
the-
gonna wait 2 weeks to figure out what the switch looks like. Dang it!
Okay, so you did succeed at the perception check to notice this, Ophelia, and the mechanism itself is a small concealed lever that it's basically just a lever between 2 kind of stones that you can just pull down, and it would reveal a door.
Oh,
Oh man.
dun, dun,
But
dun.
not a big swinging
Like iron door.
blade weapon, right?
Oh,
I would
scythe.
say this isn't like the switches from up above.
Good point. I hope not.
Right? No.
Okay.
It is different. It was specifically hidden here, and with her perception, she does not feel that
Okay.
this is any kind of trap. And we'll pick up here.
Yeah. The deeper we go, though, we're finding more stuff that's not been looted.
Right?
So that's
Yeah.
Yeah, especially these
Yes.
secrets.
2 weeks. That's gonna be a
So-
long time.
Once again, next Monday we will not be live because of Memorial Day.
Correct. But we will be back the Monday after that at 6:30 right here on the same channel and simulcasting on YouTube. So if you're watching out there, be sure to follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, check out the Patreon. All of those things help support us to continue to bring you this content. We love doing it, but we
Sure
want to
do.
do it for more and more and more people. And to do so, we need your help out there. So please hit those buttons if you can.
That's right.
And until then, have a good evening.
See you later.
There you go, everybody.
Tomorrow, Soul Severed,
That's right.
6
Be there.
o'clock. Eastern Standard.
Yes, Eastern Standard Time in the United States
I
of
know
America.
we have some other
Planet Earth.
people out there
Yeah,
from
no, that-
other sides of the
We've got to
country
bring it up
somewhere.
because we don't know who's watching where,
Absolutely.
except for Evil. We know where we know he's watching and we know where. Thanks, Evil, and thanks everybody else for tuning in.